Welcome to Patrick Roberts, our new timeline.
Bueller.
I thought I'd bring you on, like, well, you know how you always put my picture up there. I'm like, all right, I'll bring him in first and he can start the show as me. But you didn't catch on. But that was a good one though, Bueller.
Patrick Roberts, our new timeline. What the hell's going on, man?
Timeline. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was gonna start off with Joe Cool. Not the Joe Cool that goes into the stream. Just regular Joe Cool on the back of a pack of cigarettes. Camel cigarettes, Joe Cool.
Joe Cool and the lesbian haircut.
Hey, I was going to did you see the title?
What are you doing to save your soul?
Yes. I want to get different people's opinions on what they're doing to save their soul. You know? I thought it would be interesting. Sure, go ahead.
So there's a couple of things that I'm doing that I've been doing for a little while. And I have to say and profess, I am definitely not the best at this, and I have a lot of work to do, but it's my mantra. So some of the things, like I was just on someone we mentioned yesterday who's a big Mandela effect person. I was just on his Facebook live because I go on and off. Yesterday I was off of Facebook. I went back on again.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I go every day. It's like I'm so bipolar with that sort of thing. But I went back on and I caught Lone Eagle's video, and it was just me and some girl and him. I stayed with him because he was reading Bible verses. He was reading John 20 to 27.
Yeah, I missed it. I didn't even know that he went live. But yeah, I usually listen to him too.
And one of the things that I wrote in the comments is definitely one of the mantras that I have, which is, he was talking a lot about how there's all these Christians who do these memes, and a lot of them are women who have the pages, and these memes are about other Christians and they're really mean, basically like judgment, in my opinion. But as I said to him, like I wrote it in the chat, and I don't know whether or not he kind of picked it up or whatever, but and I don't know whether anyone else does, but I certainly put the message out there, which is that to rest in your heart and not in your head. Because a lot of the time, if you're in your head and you're seeing things and you're not happy with things and you're judging them, it's all part of our brain. Has the frontal lobe, which is, fight or flight or freeze. If you're in Orion, freeze is a thing that we have here apparently, where, all that sort of thing. And the mind is really made to do mathematics and, some philosophy and, some basic understanding of, motor function and whatever. It's not there to determine whether you like someone or not. That should be in your heart. And that's a really, really big problem. So one of the things I put in his chat there was to rest in your heart and not in your head, because don't worry about what everyone, I didn't say this obviously, but don't worry what these other people are doing. Demonstrate being in your heart and not in your head. So that's one of the things that I do that hopefully will help me save my soul. I slip back into sin faster than anyone. Like, the demons surround me badly. Like, I have things that I don't even share where, I'm protected, but like, I just got to be careful, man, because it's so easy to slip back into bad mode. So yeah, I'm conscious of that, but also trying to push a really positive message amongst everything. Like when I'm on your show, I hope you see that. Like I hope that comes off that way, that I'm trying to be positive. Also, bringing to light some of the bad stuff, and putting a positive spin on it. Like, these people need to, lots of people say you can't wake people up, right? Can't wake people up. But yeah, I think it's time for people to wake up, man. What's your thoughts on all of this? Am I close to the mark saying positivity, live in your heart, be a good person?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's got their own thing, and everybody's got their own path and how far they've come and stuff. And yeah, definitely. I take everything to heart.
That's what she said.
I've always been a pretty trusting person in all my life. I always give everybody the benefit of the doubt until they prove me wrong, and I've been learning recently to if I get upset or if I see somebody who doesn't look quite right, like there's something going on with them.
Are you talking about my lesbian haircut?
No, I'm just talking about the way people present themselves sometimes, and I literally do stop myself now and say, hey, this is just another human being, and trying to love a person that you don't know is hard to do. But I think if you think along the lines like you wouldn't hurt that person, nor would you let people hurt that person, other people hurt that person, that I think that's a love in a way, and respect that person, right? If you show all of them abilities, it's definitely not like you love your God, or you love your daughter, or you love your son, or you love your mom or dad. There's different kinds of love, don't you think? Or is there just one love?
It's a really, really nice question to ask me, man. I'm really glad you've asked me that question, because that's like just such a really nice question to ask. And I think there's several types, right? But really, when it comes down to it, there's only one. And I think it's like anything. Like if you're on a building and you had a balloon full of paint and you threw it off the top of the building, when it splattered, like there's like it spreads out in a circle, and the further out you go, the kind of it disperses out, right? So if you look at love, at the heart of the very essence of love is this, is godlike, right? And then as you expand out of that, there's different types. It's a similar sort of thing. The further away you go, you're kind of getting towards like love in a friendship, or love in of animals. I would argue is probably even closer to the middle, and a loved one surrounds everything, right? So, but it doesn't mean that it's less or more or anything. It's just at a different point,
right?
Because people get
you're it's the same. You would protect any sort of love, whether animal love or whatever. You would protect them all the same, right? You wouldn't let anything happen to them, and you would make sure they're fed and all that. that they were comfortable. So, but the friendship, there's a friendship, and then I totally agree with everything you're saying, and even the people you don't know now, when you get that far out, you still have the same capabilities as all the way to the first love of your God, right? So it's just different feelings because you're closer and your God, but you don't know these people, right? Kind of same, different kinds
So
of love.
I think I
Welcome,
don't think it.
Elgo, and welcome, Call for Zero. I had to do a quick call out. And Keith, welcome. Chloe was here, and Sharky was here. Sharky was the first one. All right, go ahead.
You ask me a freaking question and then you go do shout outs. I love that. That's the best part about you, yeah, Patrick. I was so paranoid yesterday that I really pissed off Voy and Trucker Jim, who I kept calling John for some weird reason.
Oh yeah, no,
Because they left really
no.
early. I was like, did I piss them off? Because I have a habit of doing that. Like, I'm Australian, but I'm also very weird kind of Australian in that, I've traveled 50 million light years across the universe. I
Yeah,
don't think everyone here
no,
has
you
been known.
didn't offend them at all. Chucker Jim had to get up early, and he was tired, and then Voynich, he gets up. He's been getting up doing early live streams, so I would imagine they were probably all tired, pretty tired.
I came on saying Voy's my daddy. So I think that I don't know what's going on there anyway. Yeah. What was the question? Something about the love for God. Is that what you were talking about?
No, I asked you, is there different types of love? Is there different,
I kind
love?
of I kind of think here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I think if you're in, this is what I was saying before. You asked me about what's hang on, what's the name of the show? What are you doing to save your soul? And one of the things that I do is tell people to rest in their heart and not in their head, which quite often means not talking, not saying anything, but listening and not judging. It's all in your heart. And I think that's where love comes from. I think when you get to things like, you're in bed with a really hot chick, and for the first time, or you kiss a girl for the first time, whatever, that's starting to get more into your head than in your heart, because that can become all lusty and all that sort of stuff. But really, if it's love, it all comes from the heart, and that's the same whether you're thinking about the afterlife, or people who have been here who've left, or people that you're friends with, people that you're known for a long time, like you and me, or friends, but then extra is what I'm saying, or a loved one, or work colleagues who sit lower down the list, whatever. But it all comes from the same place. It's just has different meaning, and when you say things have different meaning, that means that you're starting to get out of your heart and into your head. So you just got to be careful of that, because really it's all the same thing, right? It's all that feeling of, I don't know about you. I want to ask you a really difficult question, Patrick, because you have kids, and you've been a 5-6 time world champion boxer and stuff. So you've had, you've been on the main stage, right?
Yeah, right.
You've got the big money right backing you up right there from your championships. But
that was a joke, by the way. Oh,
that was a joke, by the way. Do you feel like, can you determine the difference between acting from, or coming from a place of your heart versus your head? Can you physically, because it's to most people it's just a metaphor, right? But can you actually notice the physical difference when you do it?
When I do what?
Okay, so here's the thing. So we're told since we're little kids, this is like that we're told that it's a globe and all this sort of shit. We're also told that we think from our brains, right? We actually
Mhm.
don't know for sure, but it kind of
Right.
makes sense. It kind of feels like it comes from upstairs, up in the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're making a decision that's a heart-based decision, is it
Mm-hmm.
physically, does it feel like it's physically coming from your heart or from your head?
No, I can tell the ones that come from my head, and I can tell the ones that come from my heart, and I can tell the ones that come from my spirit.
Yeah.
So there you get all we're getting that talkative to us all the time. And then you add the interference with everything around us that we get bombarded with. But anyways, to go back to your question, I think there's three of us, of our soul or whatever, talking to us.
Trinity.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. See, I didn't even mean to do that, and that it comes out that way because that's how I feel. And that's true. That's been true all my life. That's how, but I didn't always listen. you know.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Uh,
Because I have, I've made decisions from inside my Johnson. Is that what you call it down there? You call your jocks your Johnsons, your pants. I've made
uh-huh.
incorrect decisions. Yeah, I've made decisions from the guy downstairs. I've made decisions
Oh
from the
yeah.
heart. I've made decisions from the head. We talked about this the other day. Remember, like,
Yeah, right.
it's never a good decision making it from old mate downstairs. It's never
Yeah,
a good
no.
decision, is
Or
it?
if you let the alcohol take over, then you're really screwed.
Well, you could say the same thing about weed. It's taking you away from your heart. It's putting you back in the head, isn't it? Makes you
But
sleepy.
I don't make stupid decisions like I did on alcohol with alcohol. I made a lot of stupid decisions when I drank. So that's just me. It doesn't mean everybody makes stupid decisions, obviously. Otherwise, everybody that drank would, be stupid. But
Mhm.
for me, uh I don't make them stupid decisions when I'm high. I don't do anything when I'm high, you know?
Is that good or
I'm
bad?
No, it's good because I'm too lazy to go out and rob a house or something.
What the actual fuck? We've got
Or go out and start a fight somewhere with somebody or whatever. Yeah,
we
people that
got out
smoke dope, I just don't see that kind of stuff out of them. Anyways, but
we got Al Gotham in the house.
What's up,
yes.
Digi?
What's
How's it going,
up?
Algo?
Hey, Patrick.
So what are you up to tonight?
Well, I wanted to click the link when you guys were talking about love.
Mm-hmm.
God, he came on here because he likes my lesbian haircut. Someone said to me,
Oh,
"I have
dude.
a lesbian haircut yesterday." Algo, I'm still caught up on it in my head.
Still gotta reel
I'm
it.
like, every time I look at myself, I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Oh fuck me." Yeah.
You
Anyway,
He
don't. The bitch just stole
yeah,
it from
yours is
us.
too nice.
No,
Yeah.
the
he
bitch just stole it from us.
Sorry, man. Go for it.
So from my worldview, love is the force of a flower, and love is the force that seed planted in the ground with a little bit of water will sprig into a plant. So to me, that's what love is, a force. It's not an emotion. And we humans, we get to experience that force and we apply it differently to different people. So when it's your child, it's a different application than when it's your lover or it's your mother or it's your aunt or it's a friend. So,
Mhm.
and I think that filter in our mind, the brain, but the mind is the filter, and but the force behind what we call love, that's what makes the stars light. That's what makes that's what generates all of this thing, whether it's a simulation or it's a creation or whatever the fuck it is. But that love energy, I think when you get to get near it, you know it, and you can feel it
Mhm.
immediately, and you can interact with it, and you can hopefully express it. So I like never say that to people online. I never say, I love you, man, later. I never use that word unless I am in that vibrational force of what I think love is.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to add that because I think you guys are like on it, and we're all buddies. We're all kind to each other. We all support each other. We all hope the best for each other. Laird Life reached out to me, Digi, and he was so kind in an email. And I'm like, dude, you're crushing. It's awesome. And in that little sliver of time, I felt that force towards him because he's a good dude and he deserves all the good things, just like you do, just like Patrick does, and Buzz
Mhm.
Chino and everybody else. But I think there's a underlying force that animates this place that really is love.
Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting.
That's just how it occurs
I
to
look
me.
at it. I look at it a little bit different way, obviously, but yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Uh,
Um, there's definitely different types of love. That's pretty much what we're getting down to. Um, even your remarks, you said there was different types of love, but
Well, it's not a different type. It's just we filter it differently for our associations with people. It's the same
Mhm.
force.
Right.
It's that same energetic force that makes you want to protect the child, or it makes you want to kiss your lover on the neck to where she feels like
Right.
how much she means to you.
Basically, but you still have like the closer you are to a certain person, like your lover or whatever, it just means what? You're forcing it even more, or it's just a brighter force, or how would you say that? Like
I
how
just
would
think
you
it's an
say?
energy, dude. I think it's an energy. And it's an energy
Okay.
that if we're lucky, we get to grasp onto or be a part of or get near and express it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I know
Right.
the three of us, I've known you guys for a while. And I can
Mm-hmm.
honestly say for both of you and myself, we have all been really close to that darker energy that is self destructive. It's
Mm-hmm.
depression, it's all that stuff. And that's an energy that exists in this place as well. And if we get near that, then bad things happen. And if we get nearer to that energy that is love, then good things happen.
Right.
So
Right.
what I'm thinking here, though, and this is kind of one of the things that I was saying on the earlier on, Patrick, with what Algo is saying here. I strongly agree with the fact that it's like it's a force, right? And it comes from. I actually feel that's why I ask you the question, Patrick. It feels like it actually does come from the heart, right? And it's a force that can be extended within, but it can be extended around your body, and usually, and us all being men and straight men, when you're around a woman who you care about or who things are starting to happen,
Mm-hmm.
that love actually physically expands out, and they pick up on that, and you pick up on theirs, right? This force, but
Mm-hmm.
where I'm kind of saying what my kind of line I was trying to say to Lone Eagle and what I'm trying to say to Algo right now is that when you say things like it's the love that kind of wants to protect a baby, or it's the the love for a partner and stuff like that, that whatever, that's starting to get more inside of the head, because it's like you want to protect something. I see that as that is something different. Like I think love is like, whether you're trying to protect something or whatever else, it's like the underlying force of everything. And when you start to move away from your heart and into your head, that's where you like start to do things like, is that, for me, previously, historically, it's been like, oh, was that guy looking at my girl? That's when, you're starting into head, or I'm going to do everything to protect this child, or like all that sort of
But
stuff.
at that point, it's not love anymore, though. At that point,
Oh no, the underlying bubbling away is love, but then
Oh,
The
okay.
energy, the energy is still there, Patrick. The energy is still the same.
yeah,
the
right.
energy is still there. But so what
But
I'm
if it
trying to
runs through the
say-
ego,
gotcha.
You're right,
It-
Digi. If it
yeah.
runs through the ego, then it gets
well,
fucked
yeah,
up.
call it ego, or like, or back into the head, whatever. Even if it's like, even if it's
Yeah.
not ego and it's just frontal lobe, protection, like you're in that part of the head, which is like, it's fight or flight. I gotta save my child. Like you're back in the head, kind of thing. But the underlying, Patrick was asking before, what's the difference? I think really, and this in a way, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier about like kissing a girl for the first time, or being in bed with her or whatever, because that underlying love thing is always there, but then eventually it goes on to other things inside of your head, right?
Yeah.
But that's the essential essence of underneath it all, Patrick. To answer your question from the very, very beginning, I think it's the same, whether it's your mother or your father or your sister or a couple of YouTubers or someone in the chat or your best friend or someone making a funny thing on YouTube that you're watching, you're laughing your ass off. Oh, I really like this comedy show or whatever. Underlying it is this thing. And I think for most of us, we're closer to that than we are to the darkness stuff. But the darkness is very alluring to some, and some people are very quick to jump back to it. Patrick, remember at the start I was saying like it's so easy to slip out of like the message of your show here, which is what are you doing to save your soul? So easy to fall off course, isn't it? So yeah, that's probably what I had to add.
Oh yeah, no, you did awesome. That's fine. No, you guys are right on target. I mean, love is basically the soul. I think the whole your soul is love. Do you think there can be evil soul?
Probably not.
Complete. Yeah, I mean,
They're probably
I think
soulless
everybody's
people.
got some sort of balance, maybe.
Well, they're probably soulless people, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Bad
with you
genetics,
there.
bad wiring, fallen angels, call them what you want. They probably don't have that thing that keeps them from being the way they are. Because I know some of your stories, Patrick, and Digi, being a DJ back in the day, I'm sure that some of the things we've done do not represent who we are today. But
Exactly.
we weren't soulless in that.
Right.
Although I think at times when you slip out of, when you're fully in your head, and you're lost.
Or in your Johnson.
Yeah, man, that's exactly what I wanted to say, but you've just said it for me. Then you do these stupid things. But also, Algo, like there's this argument, like I've heard arguments for different people, like for all three of us, especially for me, where there's been this case put forward, and it's like, he said this, he did this, this, and this, and therefore he's like a bad person. And I've read it myself, and I've gone for the example for myself, for example. And I've believed it. I've gone, well, you know what? All of that stuff I shouldn't have done. But I know under all of the stuff that was said, that it was either partially or fully partially or totally incorrect. But also underneath it is like, well, that's not really who I am. yes, I shouldn't have done it, or no, they've misinterpreted it, whatever. But someone's put a case for them, like, oh my God, this has impacted this person in such a way that they've got to that conclusion. So yeah, I mean, coming back to it, if you can be in a place where you're able to listen, to hold back and listen, this is a big lesson for me, because like I'm a really good talker. To go into that place of listening and saddling in the heart and not in the head, and not judging and not whatever, despite your audience, whoever it is. I've especially experienced this during the week, this last week, with people at my work. If you can do that, then you're doing what I believe I should be doing to save my soul, in the heart. I think that's really where the most of it is, because talking about the Bible, or talking about religion, or talking about what political party has no doesn't seem to have any. It's never going. No one's ever going to win.
Yeah, you'll never solve that. You're right.
Yeah,
we're never going to solve that.
And we're probably both right and both wrong.
Yes, exactly. Because there are forces beyond what we've been able to see that probably direct a lot of what's going on. And we get stuck in these little traps, or little mind traps, of righteous indignation, or whatever the shit we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I completely agree with you. I mean, the times I've been most wrong are when I was egoic because it made me feel good.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because I was right, or I thought I was right, because it made me feel like I was right. And it's a trap. And I as everything I can say, I mean, conversations like this, Patrick, for facilitating it, and Unstoppable for being part of this. I love that name, by the way. It's at some point we have to realize, when you or me or Brenda Mitchell or anybody is sitting on the pot taking shit, we all look just as stupid as everybody else. And so my righteousness about a thing is retarded. It's totally stupid for me to think I've got a cause in a thing that I have to go champion. It's nonsense.
Right.
But most people aren't serious people.
Well,
most people are not serious people. They're frivolous people who let their emotions determine their conversation and their habits and their buying habits and their Instagram habits. Most people are not serious people, is what I've kind of learned.
Can I because
that just brings that. Hold on, real quick. That just brings me to a question: how many of us on this earth are actually real?
A good question. Damn good question.
It depends on what
how to answer that.
Well, it depends on how you define a real person, and can you actually do that? Because you can categorize people, which is a form of judgment, right? But can you really determine that there is someone other than yourself? Because did I subscribe and download and purchase the concept and theory behind an NPC? Absolutely. Do I think there are NPCs? I think possibly most people are. There's only very few. I really feel like, Algo, I said to Patrick yesterday that my thoughts and feelings on this being a very, very well constructed simulation, and also being captured in between the old world and the new world. I think about it when I wake up in the morning. Like that's how much I believe it to be the case.
That's how powerful it is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you see some of the synchronicities and some of the experiences that you've had, There's been in the last, I would say, 72 hours, an uncanny amount of just two times, like one person maybe on television, and then one person I see, one person on YouTube, then one article I read of just these little things. They're insignificant things, but I'm like, there's these links of like, oh my god, that's that thing from over there, and there's that thing over there. And in the last couple of days, more than ever, I've experienced that. And I talked a little bit about these lights that I see, like a flash, tiny little dots that I see all the time, whether it's a screen or whether it's looking at the sky or looking at a tree or reading a book. And there's so many things that make me think there's just something different about the old world that I was in. And I'm not sure if it's okay to change topics at all, Patrick, but I've been learning something, and like I know for sure, Algo mentioned DJing and stuff previously, not so much the whole time of that, but there's been times when I've been really toxic as a person, like a toxic person to be friends with, a toxic person to have in that, in my family or in friendships or whatever. But I'm self-aware enough to know that, like, okay, I don't want to be like that, right? There's a part of me that's like, okay, I need to change, I need to do this. But one of the things that I found recently watching these videos online is how other people and how I'm seeing other people. When I say other people, I'm saying people of the opposite sex, right? As either toxic or non-toxic, and through their behavior and actions. And I've never known, just from watching this video, there's a Christian life coach lady, and she's like, what you need to find is a girl, who's she should love you for who you are. No, there should be no real conditions. There should be some things there that, like, maybe there's things that you got to put the lid on the toothpaste or whatever, and you work on that. But that shouldn't be like a showstopper. It shouldn't be a showstopper at all. Like, and she should really love you. It should be none of this like cold, then hot, then cold, 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 hot, hot, cold, hot, cold, because that's toxic. And I never realized that, right? I never realized it necessarily about me, but I've never, in particular, like I'll kind of, say that I can do things better, but in particular, like relationships, like I didn't realize that, the most important thing is those people that are toxic, those girls that are toxic, those women that are toxic, they can do the same thing as me, which is like realize they're toxic and change their behavior. But from my perspective, finding someone, I never realized just how many toxic people are in this world. Like there really are, like just out for themselves. Yeah.
Well, and I think when a person like yourself or myself or Patrick and a lot of people who are in chat and who watch this back.
In my drinking days, I was pretty toxic.
Right. See, so we have trauma that we haven't resolved.
Thanks, Patrick.
In a way that at some point you learn to resolve it, and you look at other people and you're like, oh, you got trauma you never resolved, so you cannot be near me because I fix my shit and I'm good and I'm healthy and I'm kind to people and I'm not trying to get one up on them.
And they're the ones we should be getting closer to. Trying to help them.
Maybe, but when you get close to them, if they're not willing to work on their stuff, then we don't have a chance to help them.
Yeah, correct.
And if everybody's honest with their childhood, especially guys our age, our childhoods were not very supportive and healthy.
No.
They really weren't. And so we have to deal with that. Then you can't turn the clock back. You can't unring the bell. If you had a shitty childhood, sorry, sucks. Deal with it.
I don't remember how many times I ran away.
Right. Yeah. Don't pass it on. Don't perpetuate it if you can help it. And I think what you said, Mark, about trying to find a person who you can even just commune with and have a decent conversation, have a nice meal, have a nice walk without stuff coming up, it's tough. It's harder for the young ones, which I think is a bummer, but it's hasn't been people who in our generation. Oh, did I cut out or is that a mic drop?
Yeah, no, you're fine. Digi said he'd be right back.
Oh, got it.
But
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do a quick call out then.
Shout everybody out. I'm gonna go get a beer. I'll be right back.
Okay. Welcome. Let's see where to start. Annette, Brenda, Propagate, welcome. Buzzacino. And Brenda, Call for Zero, welcome. And Propagate again, Brenda, Buzzacino, Annette, welcome. Welcome, everybody. And so if you are inclined in chat to say so, do a shout out now to how are you going? I forget how I said that.
What are you doing to save your soul?
Yeah, there you go.
I'd also say though that there are people out there who are toxic, who think other people are toxic and stuff, and don't actually self-reflect on their own behavior. Like at the very least with me, like I know that, way too many times to count, I've gone, I shouldn't have done that, or why did I do that, or that wasn't me, or I'm a better person than that, or whatever. But there are also times like, I think like, yeah, I don't really want to share it because I've shared so much with the people before about, I had this experience I had recently where someone basically sent me something that they were just saying like, I care about you. And then the next 4 or 5 lines were, I don't want to be contacted today because I'm, having mental health issues or whatever, and these things. But what they actually sent was very like suggestive, right? And seductive and whatever. And it's exactly what this woman's talking about on her YouTube channel. Which is like, I'm trying to get better, being a better person and stuff. So I'm always looking up stuff and like, how can I do things different? And, well, yeah, I'm affected by my past like everyone else is and all this shit. But also like maybe looking out for myself a little bit and thinking, oh, wow, like I never realized that a lot of these girls that are attracted to me, I mean, like I've been batting out of my league, like way out of my league. Looks wise, like the girls that have been in my life, I've been batting out of my league. I mean, is it the NHL?
Maybe you'd have better luck. Maybe you'd have
whatever.
better luck looking for women that dress like men.
Patrick, I can tell you why. Did you?
That was a dig at Digi because since he's gonna keep digging himself, I'm gonna take a dig at him.
So
I
Patrick,
can tell you why.
I'm not interested in you in your boxing gloves, man. I'm sorry. Sorry, bro. I'm not interested.
Do you want to know why that is, Mark?
Why? What's what?
Why you seem to be punching out of your weight class?
Because I'm attracting the wrong people.
No. Absolutely not. You want to know why? Because you don't know how good you are, dude.
You don't believe in
That's the
himself.
trick. Nah, well, maybe not believe, but you don't know how good of a guy you are. And I learned this when I was about 35, which was a long time, but I always had girlfriends that I thought were way too good looking to know me. I really did. I'm like, damn, she's way too pretty. I'm gonna fuck this up. And I met a woman when I was 35, and she was gorgeous, like model gorgeous. And we hung out, we had fun, and we had a good. I said something stupid, and I was like, "Why are you with me?" And she's like, "Dude, you're great, and I like you, and that's all that matters." And it took me a little bit of time, but I realized that people see me differently than I see myself, and people see you differently than you see yourself. And so, if you're walking around this place, and all these women that you think are way too pretty to be with you, um, listen to them. Understand that they're seeing something that you don't see. And it doesn't mean you're going to see it ever. Maybe you won't, and maybe you will. But they see something that matches them. And that's all I have to say about that.
And you got to think about this, Digi, is that pretty girls are one of the most loneliest girls because a lot of men are afraid to ask them out.
Very true. Yep. And Mark's a good-looking dude. He's talented. He's funny. He's witty. He's smart.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't a woman want to grab onto you, dumb shit? I think he's feeding his cats or something, or he's muted.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But if the girl is toxic, you've got, I've heard you talk about her before, so I just want to put in there, if we're talking about just this one girl and she is toxic, that I myself would keep my distance from getting involved in a toxic, because nothing good can come out of it. So you're
the sex
starting
is
off
crazy.
toxic right off the bat. Well, I mean, if you're looking for a deeper relationship other than just a one-nighter.
No, you're right. Agreed.
But hey, Sharky, welcome. Propagate says but. What do you mean? What are you saying so many buts about? But. What about the butt? Most huge breasted. Oh, we're on Sharky's topic for sure.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be. Thank God he's not on panel right now, saying what he's saying.
Well, and if you're, and it takes time to navigate this place. Patrick, you've got a lot of children and a few women and a lot of good experiences. And at this place now, if you were going to find a companion, a woman that you were going to hang with and share your place and do all those things, I'd bet money that you would look for different qualities than you did before.
Oh, most definitely. Matter of fact, I had two girls were trying to get with me yesterday. And
you had two girls trying to get with you yesterday? Why didn't we have video?
Or day before yesterday. But anyways, I talked about this in my stream the other day. They asked me all kinds, questions, and they were saying how many kids they had and stuff like that. And I said, well, I have 5 kids, five different women. I'm 50. I'm going to be 54. And this girl was going to be 32 or something like that. And I said, and she was very, very pretty. And and she could look past all that of what I said. And the moment I said that I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, she was gone.
Done. Yeah.
That both of them, matter of fact, both of them, as soon as I said that, they were gone. And I was like, wow. Wow, this is interesting. I'm on to something here.
Didn't care.
What? You cut out?
No, of course I did. I said the demons didn't care.
Yeah, you cut out again, but I got that. I got what you meant. Demon, yeah, the demons.
Yeah, the demons didn't care. As soon as you said
Right.
Jesus,
Yep.
bounce.
Yep. Yep. You're absolutely correct.
You know what's
And
really
that
weird? What I've
just goes to show me that probably wasn't even a really gorgeous girl that was on that photo.
Probably not. No, that was a succubus trying to take your soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
What
that,
were you
Digi?
gonna? Yeah. What were you gonna say, Didge?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, it's really weird to me. Like, you guys know that I've had like it's almost like it's pretty pitiful, I must admit. Like, but I've said before, like 7 years and 8 years now, whatever it is, like single or whatever. And these couple of girls that have come into my world in recent times that like haven't even dated them, right? They're like either a work person, a former work person, or this other girl I met 10 years ago on the trip. They keep sending me photo. Well, let's say they keep. There's only 2 photos that I have. One Patrick knows about, and I may have talked to Algo about. I'm not sure, but like this girl who's married and the marriage is obviously on the brink and all these things going on. She sends me a photo of her legs and like while she's taking a bath, right?
Nice.
Just legs. Yeah, because this girl when I met her, I was like, this is the hottest chick I've ever met in my entire life. Like it's the perfect like everyone has their own thing. This is like my perfect girl. She actually is Hungarian.
Nice.
Anyway, long and the short of it is she sent me this stuff, but she's really toxic. And like watching this coach Melanie, who's like a Christian dating coach, and she's realistically is for really young men and men between the ages of 20 and 35. There's this some huge stat that like there's a phenomenal amount of people that in that age group that haven't had sex for more than a year, more so than ever in history.
I saw that. I read
Yeah.
that article today.
Oh, you read it? I didn't read it, but I just saw the stats and I was like, oh, that makes sense and whatever. I mean, that sounds like me. I mean, it's been such a long time. But she's definitely she's saying these things about like these toxic and non-toxic women. I'm learning about it. I'm like, oh my god, like all these things that I never knew were signs. And
How long do you have to go before you become a virgin again?
Probably
I think it's 6 years.
Oh, really?
I think
wow,
it's technically 6 years.
I'll have to wear a white shirt, white pants, white shoes, and some white.
I got about 3 years to go then,
dude.
So
I beat
anyway,
6 years, but anyway, did you?
Anyway, so my thing is that what I'll say, I wasn't going to put this out to the world, you know, because literally we're putting this out to the world when we say these things. But this other girl, she sent me I think I told her about this other girl. This is ages ago, like, you know, a couple of months ago. Anyway, so she sent me a picture of her legs, right? And what she said, this is like last night, and I said, and this is from ages ago, and she goes like, I didn't even check the message because I didn't realize it was a picture. And then I was like, oh my god, she sent me like her legs as a picture. And it says, I'm having a depressive episode. I don't want to talk and enjoy the weekend. Well, why did you send me a picture of your legs? Like, I mean, that's the first thing I want to fucking do is talk about your legs. Like, holy shit. I was like, oh my God, you are literally the most beautiful girl on the planet. You know, and then I was like, and then I realized, oh shit, I shouldn't be sending a message. And then I was like, message me later. She never did. Then I messaged her this morning and I said, are you feeling better, beautiful? And I've got nothing back. So this is toxic behavior. Another one. What's with the legs?
A little bit, yeah. But Digi, here's the thing that I would consider, because I've dated toxic women, and I have dated, I don't even want to say, but there's a point where you may be her shepherd for a little while, and the first one with the legs in the bathtub, you may be her shepherd to get her to a place where she's less toxic. You're not going to fix her. You're not going to heal her. You guys aren't going to live happily ever after. But if you're willing to nut up and follow the path then she may come out a little less toxic than when she met you. And that's how I look at it. I could be wrong, but that's how I look at it.
Oh yeah.
What
there's
up,
good
Jim?
work to be done.
Hey, Algo. Hey, Pat.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, did Jet, the bowling queen?
Yeah, did Jet with the lesbian hairstyle? That's right.
I
You know
love it.
Jim.
Did you? That's awesome, Jim.
Did Jet with the lesbian dude.
You're a funny son of a bitch.
The bowling queen.
You asshole. Go eat some Domino's, Jim. At $50 a pop. Go on.
At least I got it.
Yeah.
That's
Anyways,
funny,
how you
Jim.
guys doing?
Good.
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 Good,
How are you?
Good. I'm okay.
How you doing?
Hey,
Yeah, you held up somewhere?
Yeah, I'm just got into. I'm in between Oklahoma City and Dallas right now, on my way to San Antonio tomorrow. Or it delivers Monday, so yeah, I'm good. No, I was listening to. Now I want to see Dead Jet.
Don't you dare, man.
Damn, I got myself now. But Digital, I was listening to what you were saying, dude. All I can tell you is, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If not, don't push it. Just be cool. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Here's the titty man himself.
Hey, Sharky, welcome.
Sharky, dude, did you get a haircut or are you just all slicked up for church?
No, it's church. Yeah, it's
You're
just
looking
church.
good, buddy. You are all groomed up.
You know. What do they say?
I
said
take
you're
you home
looking
to
good.
meet
You're all
Grandma.
groomed up, dude. Yeah, you're looking good.
You know, it ain't.
Yeah, you look like you lost some weight.
The beard's all
Oh God, I hope so.
shaved. Took the brush to the beard and got the hair all back. You're looking sharp, man.
I could use to lose some pounds.
Maybe it's you lost a little bit more hair.
Probably. Well, that's a gimme. Yeah, that's a gimme right there. What happened? I got to pull it out of the bathtub about every month.
You're still a very beautiful man, Sharky.
Yep.
Well, thank you, brother.
Damn Studley.
I'm not too far from you, Sharky.
Yeah. It's all fine. You know, we
No,
get
I
used to
said,
it.
yeah. I'm gonna see if I can go through Longview and then go up through Arkansas, going back.
Oh, like in the physical.
Yeah. No, I'm in right outside Oklahoma City on my way to San Antonio.
Yeah, you know, Kansas used to be straight up next to me.
Yeah.
What?
Tornadoes come through. Dorothy was
Oh.
right next to Arkansas, but here it's not.
Yeah, well, you guys should have taken the wheels off the trailers when you fucking moved that state over there.
Yeah, right. I know that.
Oh my God, Jim, that's so funny.
Oh man, what a day!
Yeah, so I was talking to Jim earlier about the shit that's going on in the physical here. It's like I don't see how people don't get that America is imploding from within right now. It's like you see one train derailment and then you see all these other train derailments. Obviously something is going on. And we were talking earlier about people waking up. Are people ever going to wake up to the truth? Or I mean, it's already probably too late. I mean, for God's sake, we got Chinese police stations in America right now.
Yep.
Can I ask a question of everyone, Patrick? Is that okay?
So yeah, sure.
I have one question to ask. Maybe we'll go like I see it on the top row, like Patrick, Algo, Sharky, and then Trucker Jim. Same question, only one question to the four of you. Like, are you at all concerned that you have an open border and you're about to start World War III? Patrick.
Fuck yeah.
And we don't have one open border. Our borders are open all the way around.
Yep.
For anybody, they're inviting people to come here and live here, and they'll pay for anybody who comes to live here for their food, for their place to stay. That's what this government is offering right now. They're bringing in people from who don't matter of criminal record. They're just bringing them in. Yeah,
Well-
so people got to understand America's lease is up. The Chinese are coming to get their land back. I'm not shitting you.
There's a book called The Controlled Demolition of the American Empire. And it was written by Charlie Robinson and Jeff Berwick. And if people wanted to read that, they put it out 2 years ago. And the things that we're experiencing now, they talked about. So I think it's an important thing. I wouldn't really just put it on the Chinese because I think that's another fictional mind.
Well, Russia is coming after their land too. They think they got Alaska that they want back, and part of California or all of California.
Yeah, I think it's
Russia,
bigger than them though. It's that dark force that wants to.
Oh,
destroy
definitely.
everything.
No, definitely. But this is how the dark force is working through the half whatever here that are running everything.
Right.
Let me know when you want my spin.
What?
What's that,
Both of you
Jim?
guys?
I said, let me know when you're ready for my spin on this.
Oh, tell away.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Number one, we know that they're depleting our resources by damaging the crops, mutilating the chickens, the beef, burning down these processing plants. We all know that the idea is to starve us. What better way, and they're on a fast track, what better way to starve us faster than to have open borders to get more people to eat up more of the resources, which will make us hungry quicker. That's one. The chemicals in East Palatine is going to be in bottled water. It's in the crops. It's going to be the grass that's the cows are eating. It's going to be in their system. They're going to go ahead and slaughter them and send them out. They're going to bushel they're going to poison all of us. They're trying to find a way to poison as many people as they can off of this one scenario. Number two, they don't want to start a nuclear war. They're talking about it. They're fear-mongering us, but they can't. They don't want to destroy the land. Look at Chernobyl. They still can't use Chernobyl. They want to use this land. So in order to do it, the best way is to starve us and then start a war, a hand-to-hand combat or an air strike without having to chemically destroy the land. What was the other question? I had an answer for that one, but I forgot what the question was.
Oh, just the economic decline?
Okay, the economic decline. We now have this, the California-based second largest bank in the United States just went belly up yesterday. That means that they're trying to move towards a crypto coin, but they can't decide on what crypto coin because they only want it to be one crypto coin only, not the various ones that we have now. Personally, I don't think that it's going to work. It's too demanding. In other words, you and I couldn't work for cash anymore. Waitress can't receive a tip that's unregistered. That it's not going to fly in this country. Trust me, it'll be demolished. But the economy is, the dollar is done. It's finished. This closing of this bank is the first move of our economy going completely depression.
Yeah, they want central bank digital currencies for sure.
Right. And the only way they're going to do that is they got to destroy us. They got to start a new generation off of, because we're not going to go for it. We're not going to go for what they want.
Well, it's not whether we're not going to have a choice. They're going to force us into taking whatever they're going to give out. And that's supplemental income also. People are going to lose their jobs all over the place, and they're just going to be paid one lump sum. And that's if you have the right to live, because
right.
You know, with all the Walmarts closing in California and all that, I think that their FEMA camps are going to start. I think they're putting people in them, getting them ready. But this is like all fear mongering, really. This is like, this is what we're heading.
No.
It's not
there's way too much happening.
But it's not. Jim's not trying to scare anybody. It's not fear mongering.
No,
I'm. What's going on?
It's the facts. Physically, what's actually happening is happening. Fear mongering is just pulling the curtain over our eyes.
Right. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a different way to word that.
Come on, your birthday's in 3 days. Think of something quick.
Come on.
We know you're getting old. We know we're getting old.
The best way that I can say to anyone is that with everything that's coming down the line, and I've been shouting this from the rooftops for years, but what's coming down the line is y'all need to find your creator, and y'all know mine is Jesus Christ, and hopefully you all find him. I don't know who everybody, I only know a few people for certain, like Ceiling Fan Man, I know definitely is right in line with my beliefs and stuff.
That's all good. That's all good, and that's cool. But we still have to deal with what's here now. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing of it is that there's nothing that we can do, and this isn't my world to fight. This isn't my world to fight for, anyways. That's
a cop out.
No, it's not a cop out. I'm not from this world.
Okay.
This body means nothing to me.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't agree.
What about your children?
I'm in it now. Exactly, your children, your children's children.
My best for them is that they find salvation through Jesus Christ also.
You're not getting what I'm saying.
Okay, but you still have to be here to be able to do that, and you still have to eat, and you still have to do your stuff. And when the opposing force is pounding on us and trying to do all these things, I think it does.
So give everybody. What do you think? What do you think, you guys, you two? What do you think people should do?
Honestly, I think
Prepare.
we need to take to the streets.
Oh yeah,
I
we
think
should have a
it's-
revolution 20 years ago.
We need to get rid of the Millie. We need to get rid of these top brass in the military and have
I
a
honestly
military
think
coup.
it's too late. Be more realistic. It's too late for all that.
No, it's not. No, it's
Never
not.
too late. Always fight. No.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Until their
if-
boots have already taken over, it's not too late. Was it too late for the Jews? No, we saved a lot
It's
of
never
them.
too late. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no doubt some will live through this, but you're talking
So,
about
Patrick-
a rise up.
Okay.
There's not enough people that are awake to rise up, and the 80%
So we need a
people
Paul
who
Revere.
the 80% or 90% of the people are all go along, do whatever, as long as you don't hurt me.
So we need a Paul Revere. We need a bunch of Paul Reveres.
Say, Patrick, I
We
got to
need
ask you
somebody-
something.
Go ahead.
When you used to go to the Walmart and you went out there barefaced and you Walmart employees, did you do it to be an asshole or did you do it because you were trying to raise awareness?
Well, I was trying to raise awareness, but obviously nobody wanted to listen. And all
Okay,
they
But
did
you
was
were
laugh.
the
But
Paul
you
Revere.
did it. You did it.
Right. You don't know if nobody listened. Somebody might have walked past you and you changed their mind. They just didn't come up and tell you.
Right. So
Mhm.
so when
you did.
you say, sorry, go ahead, Sharky.
This is just a little bit of a story that happened the other day with food. So my cousin Michael, he worked at Tyson, and they had these giveaway boxes. Whatever, something happens, a pallet falls off or something. They put it in these giveaway boxes, and so he had brought me down one night like 2 fucking boxes of this damn shit. It filled up my entire freezer, plus my refrigerator, plus that, and it was all this prepackaged, buttered, battered chicken that I don't eat a lot of. Chicken, you name it. It was the second time he brought this down, and I still had leftovers from last time. But I like to cook, and he's brought me down the first time like chicken legs, thighs, and backbone. And so the next night he calls me up and he's like, "Man, we got this," and I'm like, "Oh crap, man! I don't know what I want to do with this other stuff." So what ended up happening is, it took me about an hour. I contacted, one of the only friends that I could remember around this area that works at the lodge, and so what he didn't realize what he was doing when he brought that chicken down the first night, it turned into feeding not only me, but in my freezer, but also my friend Liz, and also on her way to work, she took all this trash bag full of these bags of Tyson chicken nuggets and popcorn chicken and things like that. It's all breaded up and totally cooked. But there was a guy that had on welfare with 3 kids, and the price of food, and he's having hard time feeding his kids. So what ended up happening is Michael actually, by him just doing that one thing, also fed me, Liz, plus this other guy with his kids. By that one action, and here's the 3, the triphone effect.
That's cool.
It
Hey,
was all free.
welcome.
It was all free given,
Yeah, welcome Peanut and welcome Crunchy B. Peanut,
Crunchy
if you
B.
want to go first.
What, Patrick?
If you want to go ahead first
Oh,
before
okay,
Crunchy.
cool. All right, hey, Patrick, I'll say a little right first. Hey, Patrick, what's up? What's up, Crunchy? Hey, Sharky. What's up, Trucker Jim, Algo, and Unstoppable Digget?
Hey, Crunchy.
So yeah, basically, I want a couple things. I wanted to build on what Jim was saying. He's right, because like I was watching someone who's like, he knows a lot more than I do about financial stuff, and it showed where like the gold and silver was like worth nothing, zero, which is just insane. And so that means they're the gas dollar, oil, whatever it is. I don't know a whole lot about this stuff, but like they're not trading in that anymore. And basically all that stuff, what it means, they're going to crash it. And they're going to have something called a not a bailout, but a bail in, which I just learned the other day what that means. So I'm not an expert, just pass on what I know. I don't know if you know what that is, Jim, but it means that like they're going to crash the dollar, and then the banks are going to get bailed in, meaning they're not like the government is not giving them their cash. They're going to take the cash from us. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's
Right.
It's gonna be a total reset. So something big is down the line. Like they're gonna bust out that digital world currency or something. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be huge. All kinds of people are gonna lose their money over it. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then your stream was like, what are you doing to be saved? I don't know so much what I'm doing, because like I can't make myself saved. That it doesn't depend on what I do. You know what I mean? It's like
That's true.
You know. That's
true. That's like I was saying the other day. You know, for ever since 2016, my kidney failure, I've been saying that I found Jesus Christ. I just realized that wasn't that I found Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ found me, because in 2016 I wasn't looking for Jesus Christ, but I know after my kidney failure I became a whole lot closer to him, and that's when I started to learn more about him.
I think what you meant, Pat, is like, what are you doing to help other people find Christ? You know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just word it. I don't know. I was trying to think of how to word it, but yeah, you're more right than I worded it wrong. Yeah, I don't know how yeah. But anyways, we have Crunchy B and Valentine on. So Crunchy, go ahead and say
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because it was Unstoppable Digit, and he changed it to Dickhead.
I'm pretty sure Peanut called me a dickhead. I'm pretty offended.
Digi.
I couldn't pronounce it. Is it Digit or something?
It was Digit. No,
he's got a lesbian haircut. Or maybe it's like French. Check out. Maybe it's like French on Digit.
No, he's got a lesbian haircut. And
that's funny.
That's hilarious.
Just remember, everybody who talks, don't use any buzzwords, so we can keep the stream up, so we don't have, have to take it down.
Yeah. No Crunchy B, no buzzwords.
No mention about FEMA camps or train derailments or.
Oh, you already did it.
Yeah, I know.
So you have to tell us what the words are, so we know not to say them.
Yeah, right. I just mean the big things like the C19er and the old giggles jab, that kind of stuff.
Sharky's looking dapper with his cut off flannel over there, and his hair tied up and everything.
Right, very dashing and debonair.
Did you
need to polish that dome?
So Crunchy, did you want to say anything before
Suave?
Crunchy, did you want to say anything before I move on to Valentine and see if he wants to say anything, and then we'll get back into the group?
Not really. I vented for like 2 hours on my channel. I was live, and then I just saw you live, and I was like, "Well, what am I doing?"
Okay, well, fuck you then. If you don't want to say nothing, the hell with you.
Oh, I didn't even get the. I didn't even see that. Sorry, Crunchy. I didn't get a notice or anything on that.
Oh,
yeah, me either.
I'm drinking
because I've been live for over an hour.
Rum.
Anyways.
Rum.
Cheers.
Oh, is that a Wicked Apple? Valentine?
Yes, my favorite.
Nice. Those are good.
Yes.
So welcome, Valentine. Did you have anything that you wanted to add before we get back into group discussion?
All I wanted to say, hey guys, how's it going? My first time calling in, so nice to see you all. All I wanted to say was I agree. And I'm sorry, this is my second can, and yeah.
That's good. That's fine.
Right on. What's up, Valentine?
Yeah, man, I don't think I've met you.
Hey, Valentine.
No,
Is
I
it like
just found
super
you
warm
guys.
there, so you don't have to wear a shirt, or what's up?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm parked for the day, so I'm kind of just chilling.
Copy that. No, it's good. It's good.
I'm also heading to Lubbock, Texas. So I'm sitting here in
Oh,
Kentucky.
you're a trucker too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
trucker
cool.
Jim and Valentine
I know. I
Right,
know.
rock on.
moving the goods.
awesome.
Moving the goods.
Yes.
Nice.
You
lots
said you're
of-
going.
lots
Valentine.
You're going to Laredo?
Oh, Lubbock.
Oh, Lubbock.
All the way
okay,
from
okay.
Minnesota. Damn, Minnesota has a blizzard going on over there today, and I finally got out. Kentucky is
Yeah.
34 degrees, and I'm happy. It's
I'm in
warm.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
I'm in
I was.
Kentucky.
I picked.
As you,
Nice.
I picked this
as
load
your,
up in. I picked this load up in Augusta, Wisconsin. So I was in that blizzard.
So okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
is
Wow.
your original native? Are you from Russia or something? Somewhere over
Yes,
there?
I was gonna say this
Okay.
is why I'm like I'm not sure if today's a good time to call in like those damn Russians.
What's up?
No,
What's
we
up,
no.
Conrad?
I
No,
love.
it's a great time
Hey,
to
I
call.
love the Russians. I love all the people all around the earth. All
Ukraine
around.
I like
and
the
the
one.
US
I
is
like the ones
wrong.
that are named Natalia.
Yes, Natasha.
She saw it,
Natasha.
didn't she,
Yeah,
Jim?
the
Tasha,
redheads.
Natalia. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
hot with blue eyes.
Mhm.
No, Valentine. I mean,
Hazel.
the smart people in the U.S. understand that Ukraine is wrong, and that it's funded by the U.S. government, and that Russia is not the bad guy.
Yeah.
The smart people in the U.S. actually get that.
Yeah.
Just for
No
the
doubt.
record.
I've been here for the last 22 years. I'm an American, so like for me, this is my home. But
Right.
That's what I kind of figured
you
too.
know, I
Actually, Valentine.
I'm sorry. What was
Yeah,
the
that's what I
question?
kind of figured too. You want to be considered American. You don't want to be thought of like as being like Russian or whatever anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I get it. You're American. That's why I look at it.
You're
Yeah, I
fucking
mean-
human.
22 years. So you weren't. You left before Putin came into power.
Actually, this is a funny story. I was born in '84, so I'm 38. Anyway, for the first 6 years of my life, I didn't really pay attention to anything, like as a baby. But in the 1990s, when he came to power, everything seemed. The whole fucking country was destroyed, right? So everything kind of
Right.
was going down, going down. I came to the States in 2000. So when I was leaving, Putin was serving his, I believe, first term or the second term. So
Okay.
to
First
me, I was like, okay, he's just going to be one term, everything's going to go back to shit again. It didn't. He stayed in power. Like to this day, he's still in power. So
Right.
he's like a czar. Like he's going to go nowhere. But anyway, the country did get better. Like life got better. Mafia kind of.
He brought about more Christian
Well, yeah.
values.
You know what?
Yes.
You know what? That's what I was gonna say. Putin was KGB and mafia. I mean, you know about the apartment building and all that shit.
Yep.
So yeah. I like the guy in a way because he did restructure Russia into building back into a superpower again, and they could if they just, they still got a lot of growing, but they've gotten very far since he's been in office. So I like him for that, but the dude scares the shit out of me.
Exactly.
Hey, Tucker,
Thank you.
have-
Well, hey,
Yeah.
I'd rather have Putin than Biden. He
Oh, me
scares
too.
the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too. At least Putin
Well,
talks
yeah.
about like he talks about like traditional values and
Yeah.
and he's like
Right. Right.
it just seems like at least he's like for his country instead of like being
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was living in another country, I'd be like, man, I'm really afraid that guy's gonna push that red button, make a mistake.
That's
Oh, I
senile
thought I
guy.
was pushing the orange button.
You know what? The one good thing
Right.
about having Biden, he's got the nuclear codes. Fucker doesn't even know how old he is. You think he can remember the
Can't
codes?
remember him. No.
Listen
if
to
you can
this.
sniff them, if you can sniff
Listen to
them,
this.
Yeah.
I heard that by 2025, Trump is going to be president of a new America, and
Oh
the
my
rest of it's
gosh.
going to the rest of it's going to
What?
be like Chinese
We're gonna
and
be fine.
Russian.
What?
Trust the
Yeah,
plan.
it's going to be Ohio, Texas, Florida. I'm trying to think what other states are involved
Texas.
that are conceding.
Oklahoma.
That are conceding, and they're going to be Trump's going to be the president of
Yeah.
them
There'll
states.
be no national
do you-
divorce.
Do you think it's possible that Germany actually won World War II and this is all?
It's
a
starting to
big
look
show?
that way, isn't it? It's starting to look that way.
I think this is all.
Well,
a big
yeah,
show,
Crunchy,
and
of course.
that they
The
made
Nazis
it that
won
way
World War
because
II.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look around.
Yeah, I agree,
Possible.
Crunchy.
Look
It's
look
all
at
like
the
all this.
communism.
I don't trust anything on the world level. Or
Well,
the
you
national level.
figure how many scientists we got out of Germany after World War II. Come on, there's more
Operation
to the
Paperclip.
story than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All this stuff is like it's all theater, huh?
Yes.
Like all the
It
stuff in
is,
this world.
yeah.
Stuff.
And
all
Valentine.
But
The
since
best-
we're on the subject,
the-
if we had to give up a state to China, which would it be? My vote's for New Jersey.
California.
California.
I would say
California,
California.
let it sink.
California and New York.
New
We can
York.
take New York too.
All right.
Yes.
Is there any way we can do California and Chicago?
But Valentine.
Just Chicago.
Chicago.
Not the whole state.
I'm from Florida. I
there.
don't care.
There you go, brother.
There's people that think Chicago is.
You
a
ain't
state.
taking my city. I know. I
Hey, I didn't say it was a state. I'm from Illinois. I know what it is, but I'm just saying I just want to get rid of Chicago.
Some people
Just
say
the
it.
city.
He said some people say it,
Oh.
not you.
Can we all agree though we're not
Yeah.
going to get rid of Hawaii?
We're not
What?
gonna
That's
what?
the 50.
Get rid of
We're
Hawaii.
keeping
Hawaii's
Hawaii.
exactly. We're keeping Hawaii.
Oh no, we gotta keep Hawaii. That's where they play the Pro Bowl.
Florida
no,
and
they
Hawaii
don't.
has to
No,
stay.
they do it in Vegas now.
Okay.
Oh.
then
Pro
we'll
Bowl's
see.
in Vegas now.
Oh yeah, and don't they do flag football now? They don't do
Yeah,
pads.
Flag football.
yeah, it's stupid as hell. It's
But
very
Valentine.
stupid.
Flag? What? No way. They're doing flag football.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
the
flag,
last-
They did flag
nothing, just
football.
flag.
Yeah.
I don't watch football anymore anyway. So it's like, whatever.
The people who give out them kukarachi shots, they're afraid of any more of them NFL players. Bloop. You know.
Yeah, right.
So let's just take the pads away so they don't hit each other, and maybe we can get through this game without anybody else dropping.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, so here's Valentine.
Huh?
You and people that you knew before you came here, we're the same as you and I. You and I are exactly the same. We're just people. And political establishments and nonsensical religious establishments and all the stuff that's the enemy. People are not the enemy ever. It's always the
Amen.
governments. It's the religious establishments. It's the money system. It's the bankers. And the sooner that we can understand that and embrace that, when we do have to fight, then we need to know who we're fighting. Right?
Our
The
fight
saddest
is against the
and most
principalities.
difficult-
Amen, Valentine.
Mhm.
Absolutely
Am-
right, brother.
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all this other stuff is an illusion. It's all about Christianity, right? I completely
Yes.
agree with
Mhm.
you. Yep.
That's
It's like
the,
all these political leaders and heads of state. It's all illusion. So like that, because if it
that's
wasn't,
the
then how,
hardest thing.
yeah, I
The
completely
hardest thing to fight is Christianity. It's why? I mean, I know. I guess Patrick, you asked me this on my last live stream if I was a Christian, and I said, yeah, I am. I do. I believe in Christ, but
Yeah, I
What-
didn't
I
ask
don't-
if you
I
were a
don't-
Christian. I just asked if you were a follower of Christ. I don't
Right.
consider
Well-
myself a
Question.
Christian.
yeah, and
No,
and that's the
I don't-
hardest
I
thing
don't-
for us to separate ourselves from the church because, the church is government, yet they don't get taxed.
right.
Is that why?
Mhm.
Is that make them?
Compromise or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know, and it's just
Yeah.
so hard. I mean, we grew up. I mean, at least I did. Every Sunday, just being indoctrinized,
Yeah.
and it's so hard to break away from that. But since I went to my pastor, my childhood pastor, and I came to him and said, "You remember the lion shall lay with the lamb?" And he was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, Isaiah 11:6." And I was like, "But it's never been that. Supposedly, it's always been the wolf shall." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember the wolf, yeah." And then everything I said after that, he was like, "Oh, you're crazy. You know,
Yep.
you're wrong."
Not a
And I was
serious
like,
person.
"Dude, but you just told me you remember Isaiah 11:6, the lion. You remember that, and what it meant was the Lion of Judah, right? And now it's just always been the wolf to you. No, I couldn't.
You can't
trust
talk
him.
to those people. Like they don't see. I mean, they see. They kind of sort of remember how we remember, but when you quiz them, like, "Hey, can you quote it from their memory?" They can remember, but
Yeah.
once you see the paper, like, "Oh no, that's it. It's always been the wolf."
Once you tell
It's
them, it's like they get a download, and I mean, it's the only one can see it.
And
It's
that's
so
not
weird.
not this person.
What, Algo? You cut out.
I mean, oh, I'm sorry. I said that's not a serious person. If
Is
you're
that
a
an
serious
NPC?
person, it could be, but if you're a serious person in this realm, you're looking at all this shit coming at us and you're saying, okay, I need to pay attention because things are going to get bad for me and the people I love, and I need to figure out a way to navigate it. And when
He
they
was like-
when they
Oh,
when
go
they
ahead,
look
I'm
at that and they're like, oh no, they change their mind back, that's not a serious person. It's time to move on.
What you got to
Go to the
remember
next
as
one.
well is that you got to remember that that America has got itself involved in a country and it's basically going up against the enemy on their turf. It's their turf, right? And you have a border. So I'm going back to what I said initially. You guys have an open border, so anyone can cross it. Anyone can cross that line to get into your country at the moment. And, you know, with
Yeah,
9/11, before that point in time, I believe it was a staged event and it's part of a way bigger picture that other than America. It was, anyway.
Yeah.
But now you have the doors fucking open. They're open. The doors are open to anyone. They could send anyone in. And this is the thing that I find
They
really
have been.
difficult. Yeah. So I find it really difficult to, you know, I think we're right on the edge. And mind you, my country, we have like the Chinese built a landing airport in the northwestern part of our country. Like we allowed them to build an airport for themselves to land in. So wake up, Australia.
How?
Wake up, fucking everyone
How?
else.
Yeah.
Exactly, Valentine.
Right now-
How is that allowed to happen?
I think I'd like
Hey,
to
what
clear
about-
myself
Have
up from
police
early.
stations and everything. Like, how is it possible? Like
Yeah.
Chinese, like I just don't get it.
What
Right.
So
about
many things we don't know about. Yeah.
this? The entire world's letting other people in, regardless of if the people know about it or not. They're
How is that
migrating-
even possible to have a police station in America?
Welcome
Chinese
to the
migrating-
world order.
migrating
Sure.
people around into different countries? All right. Now, something big is going to happen, and if you want to save what's left of the human race, whatever, you don't put all your fucking chickens in one basket. You know, you got to put all your chickens in different baskets, and that's what they're doing. They're putting all the different races in different baskets right now because something big's fixing to happen. And the sky's going to open up, and we're all going to be like, woo, you know, let's go up and fucking get high and fucking get out of this motherfucker. Or we're going to be stuck here going back to the damn Stone Age again. But you know, you're going to have, you know, your
Eat
Chinese,
the
your
bugs.
Japanese, your dirty knees, and your titties. You know, it's like, what if that's what they're doing?
You will eat the bugs.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
The bugs will be
Yeah.
gigantic, so it'll be a big smorgasbord. You know, you kill one roach and
They're trying
feed
like
a
hell.
family of fucking 12.
Yeah, they're trying like hell. Hey, Patrick, my friend, I got to bounce.
All right. Thanks a
bye,
lot, Val, for
Malcolm.
coming on.
Thank you so much. Unstoppable Dickhead, Trucker Jim, Valentine, Crunchy V, Peanut, Sharky. Nice to see everybody.
See how good.
You know,
Nice
Take it
to-
easy.
just
Nice to meet you.
honestly keep sharing what your heart tells you to share, because you're everybody's right. Everybody here is right, and what the fuck that this reality wants for us is wrong, and we're gonna fight it. And Patrick, don't ever roll over, my friend. Never just
It's
just
not.
keep fighting.
No, absolutely. It's not that I'm rolling over. It's that I no longer worry about my essence as far as this meat suit goes, because I am more than that, and
Okay,
I
that's great.
belong
That's great.
to. Okay, that's what
That's
I'm.
totally
That's
great. No, that, I mean, I
basically.
understand that, and so do I. But when you look at this monetary system they want, and you look at the social control they want, you think about your children, and you give your last breath and every last drop of
Mhm.
blood to fight against that. And I'll be right there with you.
Well-
But everybody, keep it up.
But it does say that this is meant to happen. This is supposed to happen. So
Fair enough.
not
Fair
that
enough. Meant
we
to
all
happen.
like it that it's happening, but I know in the end we're gonna be fine.
Bingo.
So
We've
with
already
that,
won, Patrick. We've already
Right
won.
on.
But
Thanks, guys.
I was listening before.
thanks, Algo.
Later.
Take care, guys.
Night.
All right,
But-
later, I'll go.
Bye,
Good night,
Alco.
Albert.
But you're right,
I wanna
Pidgey. We have already won.
We've had we've won already, and what you were saying earlier, I think, is very, very true, Patrick. I exercised sitting back and listening instead of like jumping in and saying shit. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
I want to say,
Yeah, thanks.
Patrick.
We're just
That-
observers.
What we
Yeah.
lost?
Complete-
I was lost. No,
Yeah, you're
Who
gonna
did
lose
we,
me
oh, we
too.
lost, did you?
crikey!
Patrick, I wanted to say I completely understand about this meat suit. Like, I'm done with it too. Like, I'm in pain every day, but it is important. I think like this is like it says. This is the temple of God. He does dwell in us. And I think that's why we all come together, is because we have the Spirit in us. So I think it's best, we got to take care of ourselves.
What
we
I
can't-
do, let it be His will. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
if I'm going to defend myself, let it be God's will that I'm defending myself.
Yeah,
Right.
Whatever comes to be, it's His will.
Yeah.
Good night, Sharky. Take care.
bye,
Are
Charlie.
Right.
you leaving?
All right. Love y'all.
Good night, Shark. It's
Love
good
you.
to see
Good
you.
night.
I said this on my stream earlier, just because I needed to talk about it. But I'm having a sigmoidoscopy in a week on Friday. And I know that you were like asked to do that, and you were like, no, I'll just let God take care of me, whatever. And I'm kind of scared. I don't know if I should do it or not. I mean, I
What
could
is
still
that?
back out.
What
It's
is
a-
that, Crunchy?
They're showing a camera up my ass.
Oh,
Colonoscopy.
Dude, don't worry
Yeah.
about it. I had stomach cancer and I had to have it every 6 months. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I think you should do it, Crunchy.
But I don't.
Really isn't that big
I'm.
of a deal.
It's not really that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of the
The
knocking
results.
me out. Just knocking
Oh.
me out. I don't know.
You're not even completely knocked out. You're not going to remember, but they keep you groggy. You're just going to be groggy. You won't remember anything, but you're not completely knocked out.
I mean, the only other
I
time I had it.
still haven't done that procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not.
I'm
done
going
it.
through
But-
it. So
I mean,
Yes.
I'm going to I've been canceling my appointments, but I'm supposed to go talk to some guy, this surgeon or whatever you call them, the colonoscopy, whatever.
Gastrointestinal doctor.
Like I said, if so far I've canceled my appointments 3 times, so I don't know. I think if I'm meant to go, I'll get there. If not,
Did you ever
I
have
love
an
y'all.
Did you ever have an EMG or the nerve conduction study?
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time ago.
Was it painful for you?
No.
Dude, it was so painful. I just had one last week, and like they shoved those big needles in your leg. Oh
Yeah.
my god, it hurt so bad for me. And I've had people tell me it's like not painful, a little uncomfortable. But dude, I was in so much pain they had to quit.
Oh.
And
Wow.
and now my leg, my foot is like tingling and stinging just like it did like a year or two ago. And it wasn't even having that problem before I did it. I'm just like, seems like I don't know. It seems like everything they tell me like is good or gonna be a test. It's just bad, and so I'm just scared to take it. I'm not taking any more medicine. Fuck that. But what am I gonna do? I mean, if it's
But I'll tell you, well, are you having blood in your urine?
no in my poop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
I have blood in my urine, and
Sorry, Crunchy.
I can't see it, but my urine definitely smells different. Like
Really?
it stinks. It smells like between rotten eggs and garbage. It just reeks.
I mean, I guess
And-
it's good for me that like I can see it, like it's red, you know. So it's not. It means
You sure it's not hemorrhoids?
It might.
I was
be.
gonna say
Sounds like a
because
fissure.
if your blood is like if you can see the red blood, it means it's not coagulated, it's not been digested.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
juices. So it's fresh.
It's in between your sphincters. Your two
Exactly,
sphincters.
it's fresh.
Yeah, which I guess is a good thing.
Yes.
Hey
But
guys, I gotta go.
still.
I gotta get up early.
There,
Night
James.
shift.
Oh, you're gonna go just when your guy came on, the Trumpster.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Who is that?
It's Donald Trump. Woohoo,
He's
what's
our
up,
guy.
Trump?
I am the best.
He's the
I am
man.
I am the
All
best.
right.
Here's
Good night.
All right,
Jim.
thanks for
Love
coming
you,
on,
brother.
Jim. Love
Night,
you too,
Jim.
man.
All right,
Take care,
bye.
Jim.
Bye, y'all.
So
Later.
I have a
Take
I
care.
have a special little thing that I need to do before I go is going out to Crunchy B, because around about 15 months to 18 months ago, I had a blood test and I found out that my iron count was supposed to be between 100 and 300 as a 40-year-old man, and it came back as 4. And what actually was
Damn.
happening was I was losing nutrients through my shit, basically. Had blood in my shit, all that sort of stuff. So even worse than what you have to have, man, I had to have an endoscopy and a colonoscopy at the same time.
Oh, where they go down your throat.
Yeah. So my going in the butt, right, is like a worst nightmare scenario for a straight male, right? So I'm the same as you. Don't worry, I stressed about that. But I was more stressed than something going down my throat, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, as it turned out, similar to Valentine or whoever it was that said it, they knock you out and like they go, 3, 2, 1, and you're in la la land, man. Like you're out. There's no drama.
Yeah.
I watched this old woman. I watched a video of before I went in, and she's like, "Oh, I've had like several, endoscopies and whatever now, and I just go there and it's like a day out, and then I go home and it's all good." And I'm like, "Bullshit! Like no one's sticking something in my ass and down my fucking throat." But anyway, I went there and did it, right? And turns out that even though I had blood in my poop, it was nothing to do with anything bad. It wasn't cancerous. It wasn't anything at all. It was from going down the other way through my mouth, which was that I had celiac disease, right? So basically what celiac disease is an immune disorder, which means we can't have
Gluten.
wheat.
Gluten.
Yeah, exactly. Wheat, malt, gluten, basically. And I was shitting everything out. So alcohol, food, whatever else was just being shut out, and I was getting no nutrients in. That's why I had an iron count of 4 instead of 100 to 300. It was 4. So it could be the case, man, that you have something like that, or Crohn's, or something like that. It's a lifestyle change. It's happening to a lot of people, but you will be fine. And coming from someone, I was petrified about in the ass bit, but I was way more petrified about down the throat. Right, that was way more.
Well,
like,
they're not
fucked
doing
up
that.
to me.
What if? Well, I guess since like it's red, they should be able to see, and it's probably not.
Yeah, it could be other
Sure.
things as well. It could be like Crohn's, man. I think that's how they work out to get Crohn's disease and stuff. But the most important thing is you do the opposite of what Patrick said, because most of the time he's 100% right. But don't put that shit off. Pun fully intended right there. Don't put that shit off. Just go and get that shit done. All right. Pun fully intended again. Get it done and you'll be fine. And like, seriously, you're a bit groggy afterwards. You don't even know. And for someone who's had it, right? I'm a straight male, etc., etc. It doesn't even feel awkward after. Like you kind of come out of it, and it's kind of like you kind of like normal.
I'm almost hoping like, because I've always wondered like if you, if you like maybe die and then hop into a new timeline every time they put you to sleep.
Crunchy B, man. Seriously, you're talking to someone who's shifted so many fucking timelines right now.
And I'm like, well, best case scenario is I pop up in it. What is
Peanut? Is
that Peanut's wife?
Hello,
Peanut.
I love you, Digi.
Peanuts.
Hey,
Hello,
by no means you guys ever listen to what I do myself medically. I do it because I do have such a faith in Christ that I'm literally leaving it in His hands. And
that's strong faith, dude. That's what I
yeah, Patrick. I don't know. I have faith too. It's not. This is not about believing God.
Listen, that's just where I'm at.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Digi, this is Robin.
Hi, Digi.
Hi, Peanut.
That's Robin Keneally.
No, it's Neely.
I'm being digit. I'm digetus.
Hi, Patrick.
Yes, you want to say hello to you?
Hello, hey, Robin.
Hello.
Hello, Robin.
Hello, Crunchy.
Hi, Crunchy and Valentine.
Valentine. That's Valentine.
Hey. Hey,
What's
Peanut.
Up? Hey.
Peanut and lady.
Hey, we gotta go. We're gonna go out to eat. See you guys. Nice to meet you, Valentine.
All right.
Enjoy the
guys.
food.
Take care.
Drive
safe.
All right.
Drive safe and have a nice meal. Yep. Take care.
Good night.
God bless you guys.
Crunchy B, I gotta also tell you this. I was knocked out once for my tooth. That was 3 years ago. Anyway, they had to implant it, right? So totally knocked out. Woke up, same world, same, like everything was okay. Then unfortunately had an accident, again knocked out, woke up, same place. So as far as, shifting timelines, that's not how you do it. Don't worry about it. And like everybody else is saying, I mean, I've never had a colonoscopy done, and I'm not still to this day, I'm not persuaded. I don't want to do it. But anyway, so I know the people knock you out. So I just don't want to do it. But from what I understand, from what I've been told, is that you're knocked out. You don't know what's going on. So
you don't know. You'll be fine, man. Seriously, I was worried. I was fucking stressed out of my brain. I was like, oh man, they're gonna do like down the throat. It's like what do they call it? Like on the spit, you know what I mean? Down the throat and in the rear, like on the spit. Like
that's horrible.
I know, man, but it's fucking scary shit. But I did it. I did it. I didn't know, and I was fine.
Right?
I want a recorded video of this.
No way.
I don't know.
Well, if you're not all right, you won't be coming back on our stream. Not in this form, anyways.
But Valentine, do you believe in this shifting timelines thing, or do you think it's like just things changing in our own timeline? We only have one timeline.
As far as with that, Christ is my Lord and Savior. So with that, it is appointed for man to die once, and then there's judgment. So there is only one place. We exist here. Whatever is being changed, it's here. There's only one place here. So timelines, I don't think so. No, somebody might be able to changed something in the past, so it looks like a different timeline. But as far as
Yeah.
there's only one. We're
When
here.
I was first Mandela affected, I was stuck on the timeline thing too. As you
Dude,
can see, I
Pat,
named my
put your
our new
put your
timeline. Oh, as you can see, I named myself our new timeline. So I was stuck on the timeline theory too for the longest time, but I recently changed that because of being a follower of Jesus Christ and the one, there is only one death. I believe I died before too, but now I don't think I died. I think I was saved, but it don't mean that everything that I think is happening now is supernaturally. It's all supernaturally happening. And I still don't know why. And I don't, I have no. I just know that I think it's a call to waken us up. I think.
Where Patrick and Valentine are not correct, in my opinion, is that there doesn't say anywhere in the Bible, just because you read the Bible and just like me, followed like Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, all of that stuff, it never says in the Bible that there isn't multiple timelines. And having lived this journey with you, Patrick, it's okay that you don't agree with me on this, but I'm very surprised to hear this. There is multiple timelines, right? I've died before, I'm certain of it, and I have come through this to end in this point, wherever we are right now. And I know for sure there are people around me who don't have different pasts. Like they see things and hear things that are different. So if you believe in God, Jesus and God, etc., he can do anything. It can do anything. God can do anything. God created this place, right? And I think it's beautiful in a way that you can have this experience that we've had to find ourselves at this point. So are you worried about shifting timelines, mate? I can tell you, I have seen some of my best friends shift.
I'm not worried about it. I pray for it. I pray for it. I'm not worried about it, man. I want to be on a better one. It's so bad.
I wish I could wish. I'll pray that for you, man. I pray that you. That's not necessarily how it happens, though. Trust me. I've kind of gone from bad to worse on many times, but
I think I died once for sure. I mean, well, not for sure, but I'm pretty sure I when I was like a kid, I was like 16 years old, drunk driving, and I went off the road, and I remember the tree, like the headlights on the tree, right that flat second. I was thinking, "Oh, this is it, I'm dead," and then boom, I was back on the road. And I didn't even have control of the steering wheel. I was just it's something else. Like it was like Jesus took the wheel seriously, and I was just for a good couple of minutes. It took me like time to like take control, and I was like, "What just happened?" I remembered it. I mean, it clearly didn't happen supposedly, but I have a memory of that. Call it a false memory, but I went off the road and I saw the headlights on the tree. I see it in my mind, like, oh man, is it? And ever since then, I mean, things have been different. But I mean, that was 20 years ago, you know. And I didn't start like seeing changes in anything until like 2012. But things have been different. And did I die then? I don't know. Is it a false memory? I don't think so, but I'm here. We didn't die, obviously. I mean, just like Patrick's whole story, you know, we didn't die. We're still alive. Is it?
Can I jump in?
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead, Valentine.
Yeah.
Crunchy. Patrick, I'm so glad we're talking about this. Okay, I'm just be honest. You know, like there is the dogmatic view of Christianity. This is what the book says, this is what it is. But then there's our experiences, like what you just described, B. Like, okay, you guys don't know me, but I may as well just start speaking as if you know me. So here's my, like my stories. I died when I was probably 8 years old. I remember we went to Volga, which is a huge river like Mississippi here, and I went swimming. I didn't know how to swim, but anyway, I'm pretty certain I drowned because when I was drowning, like I could see 2 feet above, well, not 2 feet, 2 meters of water above myself, right? I was drowning. And then somebody or something with bright light pushed me out, right? Just walked me out. But in reality, should have died. There's no way. The memory is there, right? It is the false memory. I don't know. But then I tried to commit suicide, and I was anyway, I know healthcare. Like I worked in it for 10 years. I took insulin enough to just, go to sleep and never wake up. I succeeded. Unfortunately, I found myself waking up. They rescued me with a blood sugar of was like 24, 20, as in I should have been dead. Like I knew I should have been dead. Like I took sufficient amount of fast-acting insulin to just kill myself.
Wow.
I'm still here. You know what I mean? Is that a false memory? But the world is different, and that was about 2016 when I did it. That was. But anyways, how do I say it? Shifting timelines might actually be possibly working. I struggled with that for quite some time. Like over the last maybe 4 years. I mean, it's possible that God simply pushes the reset button for each and for one of his children. Not everybody is his child. So, but the select few, those who he knew and predestined from the beginning of time, for the select of us, he just puts a reset button. You can't die, as in you cannot die. Go ahead.
When you were drowning or whatever, were you a believer or no? I mean,
No,
you were
I was 8 years old.
Right. So, and neither was I when I was 16 driving drunk. I didn't have any. Now I am a believer, and I feel like I'm in a worse place. But maybe I think that's just what we're meant to see. We're meant to see all this. I don't know why.
We're basically the watchers. That's all we're here to do.
We're meant to.
Right. We're here to witness
Patrick,
everything.
To witness. That's it. And this is you guys are my people. Like, yes, the watchers. My job is to watch. Like I can try to tell you what's going on or tell somebody else but
that's
I can't
why we
affect
haven't
nothing.
died yet. That's why we can't die, is we need to be around to see it all.
Yes, we can't die. Like I tried to kill myself, it didn't work. Like, like I'm not a suicidal or crazy person. I tried to do it methodically.
Yeah.
Then I tried.
I'm with you because I suffer from sleep apnea. I don't use the machine that I'm supposed to be using. So I could be literally should be dying every night because I wake up, trying grasping for breath, sometimes. So, how many times have I literally probably died in my sleep, but I just can't die. And it's not only that, I've been on some really high doses of medication like morphine and all these other pain pills that go along with morphine. I took them all at once. I took bottles of them, and where there's no way I should even been driving a car and I could drive it straight as an arrow, but I mean, yeah, no, I agree with you, but continue with your story though.
With that, okay. I was a nurse, registered nurse for about 10 years. Couldn't stand it, couldn't stomach. But anyway, that's how I know chemicals that will essentially end your life. Anyway, I got into problems also. Pain pills, pretty much. Morphine sounds great. But anyway, taken enough of those that I should have been dead too. Not purposefully, like with insulin. Insulin was on purpose. But like exactly what you're describing, like I took enough not to just be happy and go, but just be dead. Didn't happen. Like it just does not happen. You know what I mean? Was on a motorcycle. Again, like how does this happen? There's the road and there I am on the ground, but so where's the tree? So it means I just kind of ended up, instead of going into the tree, I was just driving, and then all of a sudden I'm off the bike and I'm on the ground. Like, like things don't make sense. So as far as I don't know if it's a different timeline per se, like it's a whole different history, but something,
Yeah.
the person pushes the reset button and says, nope, you're not going anywhere. Stay. So it's not a different timeline per se. It may seem different, but it's still the same place. Just somebody pushes the pause button, hits the reset, rewinds, and puts you back where you're supposed to be. So it's kind of like between the two arrows. Like, yes, it's different timelines, but it's not quite different timelines. It's the same world, but yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I need help.
When it comes down to it, nothing's for sure. We don't know anything for sure, but we have faith in a lot that's happened. We have our experience, and then we have our faith. And a lot of people like to argue with me over my faith, and it's like, how do you even have that argument? It's my faith. I can't push it on you because you have to have your own faith. I can't prove to you anything because this is my faith. So I get a lot of people that like to argue that with me, but
no, I get it. It's like, for me, my faith has been tested so much, and that's why I come on here and I listen to you, and I'm like, your faith is so much stronger than mine, and because I just see evil. I just see chaos, and it's not even chaos. It's controlled chaos. There's purely evil intent out there, but it's all out in the world, and it's the less I pay attention to the world, and I'm here now with you guys. It feels good. You know what I'm saying?
Peace.
It feels, yes.
Peace.
But if I get so caught up, especially when I'm alone, and I just get caught up in like the future, the anxiety, the what we just got to be grateful.
Why do you worry so much about this world?
Well, it's not really the world. It's just, my kids.
Well, you said the future, your future.
What world the kids are going to grow up in? That really worries me. My kids.
Hopefully, they'll be going where you're going. So don't worry about it. You're all going to be together in the end, very happy, and if you can,
But I don't.
This is definitely going into a reset, and everybody wants to put up a fight. And believe me, I tried at the beginning too. But it's gotten to the point where it's already set in play. They just haven't played it out yet. Do you think a big uprising is going to help the situation? No.
No, it always makes things worse. Think about the but it seems like it makes things worse. The more we go along with their plan. It was right before the whole whatever went on. It was the what's his name? The guy that got choked and died. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, right. Start the civil war.
And it was chaos, right? And what came of it? Nothing. It just created more distraction.
More deaths because what's his name killed 3 people, If there wasn't riots, there wouldn't have been anybody on the streets.
Yeah, and they
to-
tried
to
to
be killed.
facilitate that with the bricks and
Right.
all that.
Mhm.
They tried to facilitate it, and they facilitated everything they could do, and they still do to get everybody. It's a chemical. There's a chemical and a spiritual and a
And you're right, Digi. Yes.
physical warfare. I mean, it's a spiritual warfare, but it is chemical. It is physical. Physical is spiritual in a sense. I mean, it's all tied together. I mean, we can't separate it all. You know what I mean? It's
Well, I wrestle against not against what flesh and how does it go? Crunchy.
flesh and no, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against high spirits in high places, or how's it go? Spirit.
Yeah, you're basically right. Yeah.
Principalities.
So
Principalities. There we go. That's the word. Principalities
Yeah.
in high places. Yeah, and
so yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I just question God, and that's the blasphemy. I feel like they say the
You
only
gotta have. God doesn't. At least you're talking to him.
well,
You know,
but
you're
they say- but they say
you're
that's
getting
blasphemy.
that's called getting to know
No.
him. No, you're asking him questions.
But they
You
say
don't
that's
think
blasphemy.
you don't think his disciples asked him questions? That's you getting to know him.
It's not blasphemy. You can doubt him. I mean,
Feels bad. Feels bad. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Listen,
doubt, but
we
Don't
all
doubt.
fall. I even fall back in. I'm that way too. I'm not a constant straight and arrow, dude. I have my faults. I sin every day. You know, so nobody's perfect here. I'm definitely not by far.
we wrestle with him like we wrestle with him. We question him. We get upset. We get irritated. I swear at him all the time. Like, you know, that's quite honestly. It's not because I'm such a blasphemer, but sometimes, you know, shit doesn't go right, and I'm like, you know, what the, you know, like I'm doing everything I can, and it's not good enough. You know,
yeah. I always say, like, okay, when I start to do that, I'm like, okay, I'm not cursing you, I'm cursing at the devil. But then you created the devil, you put the devil in my life, so aren't you part of the devil just as you are part of me? I mean, you're
Can I say
everything.
something?
So of
Can
course
I
you
say
can.
something here, Crunchy?
Yeah.
This is the very nice way for me to exit out of this conversation because I'm behind you. So like Patrick and Valentine might be way ahead and people in the chat, but I'm a long way behind. I make so many mistakes, but if you didn't see,
But you're not a lost cause. You're not a lost cause. He's not giving up on you, and he loves you. I'm talking about Jesus. I'm talking about God.
Jesus
He
hasn't
loves
given
you.
up on Patrick on the original timeline. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Exactly. He hasn't given up on neither one of us.
No. So what I would encourage you to, and I'm going to choose my words wisely here. What I would encourage you to do, Crunchy B, and this is coming from someone who's way further back than you are, because you can quote stuff and I can't, is rest in your, when you're not with us, rest in your heart, not in your head, right? If you are doing that, right, you are sitting with Jesus. So if you are able to sit there and go into your heart, right, which means not thinking about stuff, you are sitting with God, in my opinion, right? And that's the words of wisdom that I can give from someone who's brand new to all this. Like, I know that my destruction is always through thinking. Did I do this right? Did I do this wrong?
Right.
Is God listening to me? Have I offended him? Have I done this? Have I done that? Is Patrick right? Is Valentine right? Is algorithm right? Is whoever right? Is the chat right? Is this right? Is that right? Just sit in your heart, man. if you sit in your heart, that is love, right? And you don't have to think about anything, and he will sit with you. That
I
is
like
my
angels. I like angels don't fall comment there. God created
Mhm.
self. God created the entity that created that.
And if you're
Yeah.
doing love, which is sitting in love, if you're sitting in love and you're marinating in love, right? You're doing Jesus's work.
Here's a question.
So,
What if okay, yeah, so you can feel that in your heart, right? And you know what God he knows your heart, right? Not your
Mhm.
mind. And well, he knows your mind too, but the heart is like the core of the mind. Like that's where
correct.
but so all right, here's what I'm thinking about. I'm going to pray, or should I like pray like praying in your head or like in your heart? Do you think it matters if you say it out loud? Because I'm thinking about before I go put under, just blessings, pray, just a prayer. What if should I say it out loud or because
Go into a room by yourself and say the biggest prayer, like you were talking to somebody.
because I
You
feel
can
like
say
saying
you can
it
say
out
it in your
loud.
head too if you want.
I feel like saying
But
it out loud creates a
I
vibration.
believe saying it out loud is a little better than in your head, but it doesn't matter really, I don't think. But go in your room by yourself and just pray. You don't need to
Yeah.
go anywhere or be with anybody.
But then again, I also don't want to be like selfish. I don't want to be like
Why is that selfish?
I'm praying for myself. I could pray. Okay, well, so what if I do die on this table? Shouldn't I be praying for?
I know
my
I will
family
say a
and all
prayer
that?
before your
Pray for you
procedure. I
guys?
will say a prayer for you.
I appreciate it.
I would also
I'm not
add, from what
asking
I've
for
been
it.
told, Crunchy, like it's very similar to what Patrick was saying. I mean, you're having the conversation, which is the most important part. It's not selfish. I'm on the same page as you, though. Like, a question that I usually say, I hope I'm allowed to say this, but I'm like, what can I do to help? That's my question I ask. I'm down here. What can I do to help, mate? Like, that's my question always. But I've also previously said about my cats, like my Chewy had something wrong with him. And I'm like,
Chewie.
I just want to pray. Yeah, Chewie and Django, Star Wars characters. That, I've said to them, like, just help me out. Like, the dude's got this, he's having all of his teeth out, the poor cat. Shit like that. Yeah. And you know what? He always delivers. And, if you turn it into like, I'm having this thing, please see over me, etc. And also, by the way, let me know what I can do to help out. I mean, that's the way I do it, and it's not necessarily the right way. You got to find your own way of doing stuff, but that's kind of like, it's not a deal you're making, but I feel like I always want to say, like, hey, I'm here for you, man. Like, but also just remember, if you're coming from your heart, you can talk and be, and you can also not talk and be in your heart and live a really good life. And that's where the love is, man. Like, in the head, it's so easy. If I'm praying and I'm thinking in my head, like, those thoughts can be attacked from demons and stuff. Like, I always go straight to the heart, and it comes from the heart. You can't lose, man. Like, that's what he wants, I reckon. That's just me anyway.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Amen.
Yeah.
And would that be, I gotta add this. For about a decade, I've been asking people, should I pray out loud or should I pray in my head? And they always say, no, you have to say it out loud. It has to be said. But it doesn't, I mean, it never worked for me. The only time it would actually, if I'm asking for something while I'm going to pray in a quiet place by myself, I have a conversation inside my head quietly, and then the answers come in, right? Then you go and tell somebody like, hey, I just pray in my head, everything is okay. No, you have to pray out loud. Basically, do what you feel is the best way to connect with God, and you know who God is in your own mind. So if you have to say it quietly, privately, in your own head, by all means. If it works, wonderful. You know, like why
Most of the time when I pray, it usually is just in my head.
Mhm.
I sometimes pray
Yeah.
out loud, but most of the time it's just in my head, even when
Yeah.
I'm by
Right.
myself.
Yeah. And I think, okay, here's a good question. Have you guys ever had a prayer answered that you
Yes.
remember? Well, can you tell me what it was? Or, I mean, if it's too personal, you don't have to, but
My cat
you
Chewy
remember?
had this thing with his feet, and I talked about this many times previously on my channels that I had before. And like I was like really worried about his like one of his paws. And he's an indoor cat. He's always been an indoor cat. Anyway, I prayed about it, and I went to the vet, and the vet like pulled this stuff, like it was like fluff kind of thing, like this kind of like carpet kind of stuff that was in there. Anyway, the reason that I knew that the prayer had come true wasn't just because the fact that his foot was better, was because every time I was on YouTube and I was talking to another Christian person, I could see him laying down, and his paw would be pointed at me, and I wasn't thinking about it. And I looked down, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, his paw's healed!" Like, and you know what? His paw could have not healed, right? And it did heal. And the times when I was in a situation of a conversation that had importance, I was looking down and his paw was pointing at me. So that would be one example. And I know that it seems so small, but
No,
that was the time that I
it's
really,
huge.
yeah, it happened. So you'll be
Hey,
fine. Yeah.
You know what I think is? I think they're synchronicities. I mean, you know how much we've thought about things, just one little thing, and then it happens. But then we put so much faith into this thought, and then it happens. But we're not. It's not us. It's just our. We know it comes from somewhere else. That's the thing about this whole New Age thing. It's like, manifest your reality. That's one thing. Okay. I don't want to put a channel out there or whatever, but there's so many. I could say one line and it would be like, oh, I know what channel you're talking about. But
74.
We have to know that it comes from somewhere else. And that's the faith, that it comes from somewhere else. But I feel like so many of my doubts come true, and I'm like, because I guess I'm putting more faith into those doubts and this reality that I see just this
Well,
shit.
there you go. You answered your own question.
Yeah, I know, and I need to put more faith, and that's why I'm losing. I feel like I'm losing faith, and
So I think Valentine had an answer also to your question.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? I mean, you don't have to. If you had a prayer answered.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna talk to you as if I've always known you, and this is a private conversation. Let's just say there was a child who came from Russia to a certain country, right? It took that child about 16 years, and that's why it's important. 16 years to attain the certain papers saying I'm from here. But anyway, right? For 16 years, I prayed, nothing happens. Prayed, nothing happens. But it's only in retrospect, looking now back, I see every single step. And it wasn't just a small thing here or there. It was the language, school, the job, everything, people I had to meet. So I can't give you a small, a small example in this specific case. I don't think it's going to suffice. But the prayers get answered. It just may take a little bit of time and just patience and persistence. So even with the cat paw, it's something visible right here, right now. Something over 16 years of 16 years of your life may not be visible today, right now, or tomorrow. But eventually, when you look back, you see all the answers. Like even this conversation, even today, you will look back on it and you will say, oh, so this is what was going on. This is why he did it.
Mhm.
In other words, your prayer is being answered right now for something you might have asked 10 years ago, or you're asking right now, or you will ask in the future. Don't worry, like you can't offend God. Like you can try to offend him. You can't. Whatever you're supposed to do, you will do. It's
I
already
like
been
that.
done. Like there's nothing you can do to go astray. He knew you from the beginning of time. He created you and put you right here, right now, with these doubts. So you're just living it out. It's his story. History is playing out itself. The prayers are answered. Your prayer is being answered. Everything is okay the way it's supposed to be. So rest easy. You're blessed. It's visible. I can see you. So you are blessed. I know it. I can see it.
Thanks, man. I
That's
like
it.
it. Where you been? Has nobody ever met this guy before?
EYA channel.
He,
Plus 3
he's
Yo,
years.
been.
you're in EYA? Okay. All right. Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to talk to me because I believe in Jesus. So all of a sudden, like people, like, nope,
I
not
think
you.
That is the fastest way to get rid of people, though. I'm finding
Yes.
that out.
Yeah.
I want to talk to people, and the minute I bring up Jesus, they're gone. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, this is interesting.
Yeah. It's weird because it's a small. It's a like it's got. I don't know. 144,000. Is it that small? It could be. It could be
Hmm.
that small. And I mean, it yeah. It triggers. It hits a button. It hits something into people that they just no. They turn away. But um, I
And
think
I'm
that
fine with that. I'm fine. That just means I wasn't meant to talk to him.
yeah. Well, there's so many people that are on the edge, and I'm even like, I don't feel like I have as much faith as you do, Patrick. But um, I feel like we shouldn't push other people away, because they're
I don't like to think of myself as having more faith than anybody else.
well,
I don't like being thought of that way. I know where you're coming from, but I don't want to be
yeah, no,
on,
you're no, yeah, you're no saint. We know none of us
right,
are. We're all
exactly.
sinners. But I like Valentine here, and I think he's a good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you join the panel a lot more. I appreciate that,
I
Valentine.
found this, like, I can't believe this. Like, I've been looking and looking, and EYA is wonderful. She's my sister. She's, no
Well,
problems. But I
Hmm.
can't, sometimes it's difficult to talk openly. I can't drink my beer. But anyway,
yeah.
and now I finally found you. Like, I don't understand. Like, how did I miss you all these years? Like, I've been sitting here by myself, drinking my beer, and like,
Did you just randomly find this stream on YouTube? Just
no randomness.
no.
Somebody in the comments said, "Oh, you should, just
Oh,
listen to what Patrick was saying."
cool.
This,
Yeah,
and they gave a link.
it's a good family here, man.
Yeah,
And there's
Yes,
no judging here, yeah, drink your wine of the gods, whatever. um, but
wicked
right.
apple.
Yeah, definitely.
but yeah, I do. I love it. This place, there's really it's no judging. But what I wanted to say with EYA that kind of turned me away is because there is so much fear pushed in there. There's so much fear and so much judging, and I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but it did send me on a good track. It probably sent me here, honestly. It
Hmm.
probably sent me here to, and it's just at the level we're at, and
Look at that comment. That's pretty funny.
the tribe general anxiety disorder. That's what I see.
Don't tell anybody though. It's a huge target.
Oh, I've been targeted for a while. I mean, I don't know how much UIA or whatever. She was talking about targeted individuals, right?
Hmm.
I think we all are, and I've noticed, especially like doctors. That's one thing that scares me about doctors is I can feel the demons in them. I can see when somebody. Every now and then I go to a doctor that I'm like, okay, I actually feel like a soul, a heart, a warmth in you. But most of the time, it's like coldness. Like they just narcissist, know everything. They're just. I don't like it, and that's what I really hate about this going to the doctor stuff. It's just like I could tell them about this, and are they going to do any research and be like, "Oh, well, let me research your problem here"? But no, they just know everything, and I have to be the one that doesn't say anything. I have to be calm because if I say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" then it's what the fuck's wrong with you. You need to go to psychiatry. We can lock you up right now. They're points of authority. That's what I hate about it. They're like cops. They are like judges. They can put it in your medical record that you're insane. And if anybody else sees that medical, well, they're going to trust the doctor, just like they would trust, like a judge trusts a cop. That, oh, I didn't punch him in the back of the head. He was pulling a gun out, and I shot him in the head. I mean, but he, they could have planted the gun. It's just, I'm so scared of people. I'm so scared of this world. Like, I just want to feel safe. I want to feel safe.
Since the C19er happened, I have lost total faith in the medical system. That's my problem right now.
I know, and that's why I'm really like, I didn't want to do the EMG list last week. And it hurt like a bitch. And I just did it for them. And now I'm like, what is really going to come of this? Am I going to them just say, oh, well, no, everything was fine in there. Just keep shitting blood. And, and then I'll just keep shitting blood. And everybody will say, well, he's crazy. And I'm like, what I pissed sand out like a month ago. Sand came out of my fucking urethra. And they said,
yikes.
They said, and I asked them, I pissed, so I went right to the doctor, and I pissed in a cup for him, and they could see it floating around. And, but like when I was at home, it was like straight.
You gotta stop playing in that sandbox, man.
I'm getting dirty over here, man. Getting dirty, I guess. But it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened again. But I asked them when I came back for a follow-up, I was like, so exactly what was that? And they just looked on their computer and they said, well, it's some crystalline substance. I'm like, well, I know that. It looked like sand. It felt like sand. What was it?
Yeah, angels don't fall. He's right. You're definitely, nobody can tell you what to do. You're going to have to do what Crunchy needs to do. Whatever.
I don't know what's good for me. I don't know what's
well.
good.
That's the thing though, is we all have to make them decisions.
I know. Okay.
A lot of us go through the same thing that you go through, but you have to make the decision.
Okay, that's not true. I know this alcohol, I've got to stop. Although it kills so much pain for me, I'm in pain every day without it, but it's not helping in the long run, and I know I've got to stop. That's the one thing, but I need, like, I don't know, something to take its place, or I don't know. I just because I don't come on here and talk to you guys if I don't fucking drink, because I'm in too much pain and I'm too depressed. I don't. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel. I had a dream last night. Something was talking to me. I don't know what it was, but it was like a feminine energy, and it said, "You've got to make plan. You have to make a plan for yourself. You have to change. You have to. What was the words? You have to figure something out." That's what it said. It was telling me you have to figure something out. And I'm like, I have to do it. Like I have to do it. I want God to do it. Okay, here's one thing about Christian channels is they always say just let God do it. Let God in your body. Let him take care of everything. I've tried that so many times. I said, and when I did that, worse shit happened. Cause I didn't. I just said
Well,
I'm
God
not in
isn't.
control anymore. But it wasn't. I don't know.
Right. But I mean, I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but it's kind of like the along the lines
Does this look dark?
Joe.
Sorry. So,
Kind of along the
Have any
lines
more left? I don't
kind of
have
along
any
the
more beer
lines
left.
of Job.
Okay. Does this
you
look dark?
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patrick. Chris just said something, and I'm like, well, I'm mixing the dark with the light, so let there be light.
It's a spirit. Eh?
Yeah, I forgot my point
It's
now.
a spirit. I'm sorry.
It's a spirit.
I interrupted you, man. I'm drunk. Leave me alone. No, don't.
Welcome, Chris. Golden Psych. Do you drink dark liquids, crunchy? Maybe pieces of kidney stone. Yeah, I heard if you're a soda drinker, you can get a lot of kidney stones.
Oh, what's weird is though I was fasting for 6 days right before I pissed that sand, so maybe it was a good thing. It was like clearing out like built up stuff in my urinary tract, maybe because I didn't eat. All I did was drink water for 6 days, and I'm about to do it again. But right when
you were talking about even though you ask God, and it seems like He never helps you or never does anything that you ask Him to do. It's kind of along the lines of Job. Have you ever read Job in the Bible?
Yeah.
It's not like God's gonna do everything that you want Him to do. Sometimes the things that you go through are things that you need to kind of go through to grow.
I'm tired of going through them.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to be on this path. Not a whole lot of people can do this. And by the grace of God, I'm able to do it because I don't see myself as the strongest person in the world either. But I'm growing everything that's I've had plenty of time to think on my life, and the things that I've been through in my life, I have grown from everything that I've been through in my life, and not a whole lot of it has been a whole lot of good. So how did that just change? Did we lose somebody?
Digi left.
Oh, Digi dropped out. I'm like, how the hell did that just change without me changing it?
My face got bigger.
Yeah, we all got bigger here. But yeah, so and my phone's about to die. I gotta put it on the charger here pretty soon.
Plug it up.
But I don't know. You can't really tell another person. What to do. You have to make. It comes down to you making your own decision. Nobody can really tell you what to do.
I don't think God will take away your free will. That's what I've heard from so many Christian channels is like, let God in and let Him have control over your entire body and life and thoughts and actions. And I was like, at the time, I was like, yes, I'm done. I don't want this body anymore. You can take it. And then I won't, but it didn't end up well. Because I quit caring. I quit, I made worse decisions, and I was like, well, it's not me. I actually think I let something else in that wasn't good. And I ended up doing bad drugs. Weird.
And yes, Chris, I did read Job. Did you read Job?
Yeah. It scares
Golden
me.
Psyop.
I mean,
yeah.
It's good, but it also scares me, man, because I actually have like bumps ever since I've had like hives, like probably can't see them, but like there's one right there, little. But I mean, people will just see that like it's a little acne or whatever face on me, but it's all over me. I have these itchy bumps all over me, just like Joe. I mean, it's we are living in the 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 what is it, times of Noah? You know, it's
Hmm?
and it's Babylon. We are in Babylon. We have everything we could want at the without money, you know, but
Mm.
it's at the touch of our fingertips, you know. Uh, but there is so much disease, and it's not just disease of the body; it's disease of the mind. Um, and it's so I don't want to be. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be in this time. And I think about, I don't know, would it have been better if I grew up in the 50s or the 40s, you know, where there was not so much technology? But then
Well, I
again,
fill your brain with all that thought. That's not going to really matter.
it's anxiety. Yeah, it's anxiety of living in the past or the future, besides being right in the now and being happy. But it's hard when I'm in the now. When I'm drunk, it's fine. I don't feel much pain. But when I'm in the now, I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be in so much pain. And I'm like, I'm in the now, and my freaking back is killing me, my hips, all my joints. I wake up and I go just to go to the bathroom. I can barely walk, and it's like, oh, this
Speaking
now
of bathroom, I'll be right back.
sucks. All right.
B, with that, about a week ago, I went home. Home is in Miami, Florida. I spent 3 days not working. I usually just drive, right? So my solution to having a couple of days off was buy a bottle of whiskey. Okay. And then when it ran out, I went to Uber and I ordered another one. So 3 bottles later, I wasted 4 days of my life, right? And so I always have that thought in my head that, I need to stop drinking. This is horrible. I know it's horrible. And right now I'm drinking my beer and I haven't had since,
Cheers.
the last whiskey. Exactly. Now I'm out. So, like so what? Like you can drink or you can not drink, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make things better or worse. It
makes things
is
better
what it is.
temporarily. It does
Exactly.
make things better temporarily, but afterwards, it eventually makes things. Everything balances out, right? You know.
Yeah. It just gets crappier, but I mean, from what I can sense is that it wasn't until you look death right in the face and you say, you know what, I'm not going to be waiting for you. I'll just do it myself. At that moment when I finally said, like I had enough. That's when it finally clicked in my head, like when they resuscitated me, saying, "Oh, you should have been dead." Well, I know that was the plan, right? It's when I was the one who decided I just don't give a shit anymore. Like I just don't care. In fact, I'm gonna be the one to do it. At that point, when you face it and you look it right in the face and you say, "Fuck it, I'll just do it." Then all of a sudden, things begin to click. But if you are afraid of it, like, oh, I don't know, should I not, should I, like it creates anxiety. But just facing it helps, just
I
you know
can't
what,
do that. What are you talking about, dude? No, I'm not gonna. I can't do that.
I'm not saying to do it, but you just, it's
can't
eventually it's
face
going
it.
to happen.
Well,
In
yeah,
Fort-
we all have to face the fact that we're gonna die. We could die
Yes.
tomorrow in a car wreck. You could be driving,
Yes.
working. Bam! It could end any day, right? So we have to
Yeah.
face that fact. But do we want it to? Do I want it to? No. I guess. I mean, I want certain aspects of it to change. I just don't want it to end. I just want like the devil to be gone. I want God to take over. I want heaven on earth. I don't want fucking this hellish place. it seems like the
But we
yin-yang-
don't belong. I don't belong to this world, man.
No.
Likewise,
So-
we don't belong here.
not
How
at
we
all.
gonna know? Let's say like all of a sudden, click, we wake up, it's heaven. Nothing was going wrong. We don't know what sin is. We don't know what sin leads to. Like we don't know what the consequences of any of this shit is. But you and I now we know. I drink, I feel horrible, terrible, my body gets destroyed, Now I know the consequences. So it kind of makes sense to experience it and go through it so we can tell the future people like, hey, don't do it, and this is why.
But it feels so good. Man, I feel so much less pain than I was in a few hours ago, and I could see like if I had access to hard drugs that not even like heroin's not even a hard drug now. Like it's fucking fentanyl. that's killing
to be
everybody.
honest with you,
Be afraid
listen,
I'd kill myself.
to be honest with you,
And I guess I am
know
slowly.
some people will be like, "You're full of shit, Pat." Whatever. But since I've become closer to Christ and God is getting to know Him more, and most of my prayers and everything go out to other people, and so I tend to not forget about myself, but not worry about myself. But things have been going smoother. I'm not saying that I don't struggle every day, and I'm not saying, but things could be a hell of a lot worse. And
Yeah.
I know things can be a hell of a lot
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
So I tend to look at it that way. The more love that you output, the more you get back.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
And I think that is kind of a me worrying about myself is selfish, So I'm worrying about myself and I'm putting this negative energy about myself out there when I should be focusing on.
Well, I'm not telling you not to worry about yourself and what you're going through. Just try to relax a little bit more and worry about
Just
other people that need help more than you do right now. Like I'm not in an emergency room. I don't need that help right now. But there's other people that do need that help, that are begging for prayers, that I send prayers out to, and I really shouldn't even be talking about this.
Yeah.
Because that it's just not supposed to do that. But
Well, no, I don't. I mean, I'm getting what you're saying, and no, you should talk. I mean, I don't see why shouldn't you be talking about that.
Well, it's like gloating to, that I'm praying for other people. You're not supposed to take on
No,
that
you're not.
sort of
No.
I'm not gloating.
You're
but,
no, you're not. You're just giving a good example. That's not gloating. A good example is not gloating.
Right.
Honestly, dude, you look great, man. Did you just get your hair cut?
Yeah, I actually cut it myself.
Oh, nice. Saved you $10, didn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't cut mine in like 3 years, obviously, but that's all I used to do was cut mine myself, and I was just like, why do people pay for this shit? That's like, dude. But it looks great, dude, and you look great, man. And I remember you came on here. Was it like 2 years ago? You had that. What was it? What was it?
Oh, I had I got
Shingles.
shingles on my face.
Dude.
Face, yeah. I almost lost this eye. Yeah.
Valentine, I don't know if you. This guy came on here live with shingles all over his face and stuff. His eye was swollen shut, and I was like, dude, how could you? I would have been in bed crying. I would not have shown my face. No way. And this guy comes on here and it gives me so much strength. I hope, yeah. I mean,
I appreciate that.
Dude, and you come through it, and you did not take their jabber.
Right.
and you're
Oh, hell
fine.
no.
You're fine, right? Right.
R-
But if you
right.
would have took the jabber, you would have been like, "Oh, well, that's what saved me." No,
Yeah.
it's just time and God and strength.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I
Your
just got
body.
over a really bad chest cold. Yeah. I
Yeah,
had
you
it
do
for
sound a lot
like
better too.
12 days.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
So,
I saw that video.
and,
You
and my
spitted.
house
It came
burnt
up.
down 2 years ago. So I've been through a lot of shit lately, but
Yeah.
I'm still holding true to Christ, you know, that I don't like shake my fist at him or anything. It's
Yeah,
just stuff
Valentine.
that,
Guy's house got
Yeah.
burnt down, and like, I mean, thankfully that the community helped. I feel bad. I didn't throw. I have never thrown you $1, man.
oh no, you don't know if you're not in a position to
I
do
am.
that.
I could.
You help in different ways, so you know
Look, man.
that's
I
not a big
spent.
deal.
I spent $8 on a fifth of rum today. I could.
I'm
$1.
okay. I'm fine. Mm.
I didn't know
But
any
it's
of
all
this.
cool.
Yeah, he's been through some shit, man, and it's just.
Oh yeah, I mean, since I've been doing live streams for about almost 6 years now, since well, I was Mandela affected in 2016, but I didn't start doing streams until about late 2017. So recently I gotten 2 strikes, almost a third, heading towards a third strike. So I pulled a lot of my videos down, but my strikes are coming back. I'm earning them back now, so I'll be putting all my videos back up again soon. But since then, you can see the progression of what I've gone through in my life. I went through being homeless to getting a place, then that burnt down, not by my fault, but it burnt down, and then after that, I was taking this medicine for psoriasis, and it ended up triggering shingles on my face. I got it on my face, and this eye completely swelled up. This whole area right here is still numb till today. I still don't have any feeling, but so I've gone
like
through a
what-
ton of shit. Yeah.
What?
Oh,
am
my
I
dad.
expecting?
My dad passed away, my cousin passed away, and my uncle passed away all in the same year.
I'm so sorry, Pat. Wow.
I appreciate that. That was back in 2017. So, yeah, no, and that was so much, like my cousin passed away first, then 2 weeks later, my dad, and then like 6 months later, my uncle. So I literally didn't cry. I didn't cry at all. But I didn't sleep. And I thought it was a world record. I didn't sleep for like 9 days straight.
Wow.
Not a
you
wink.
weren't
Not a wink.
hallucinating?
Oh yeah, I was starting to lose it. I went into the doctor's office. They finally gave me a bottle of the real strong sleep medicine. I don't
Probably an
remember what it was.
antipsychotic.
I don't know what it was. It was for sleep, and I got 24 of them, and I took 2, and 2 hours later I still wasn't sleeping, so I took another one. 2 hours later I took another one. 2 hours later another one. I ended up taking the whole bottle in about a little more than 24 hours.
Oh shit!
That's another reason why I cannot die. I feel like I cannot die because nothing is killing me.
That's totally an overdose.
I finally fell asleep on the 10th day, or 11th day or whatever it was. Yeah. And I slept a good 8 hours, and I was back up, but I started getting a little scared myself after 9 days and not being able to sleep.
Yeah.
I was starting to think, what do I have to do to go to sleep?
I went 3 days.
I was starting to freak
once,
out.
and I thought 3 days was crazy, but I couldn't even imagine any longer.
Yeah. So,
It's so weird, dude. It's like, I don't know. Do we need to sleep? Do you feel like? I mean, is it? It's almost like sleep is more
Oh, yeah.
essential than food.
Especially when we're as old as I am, we definitely need some rest.
I mean,
If I don't get a right amount of sleep now, I get nauseated and I will throw up.
Well,
If
what
I don't
is
get
it? What? How does it rejuvenate us like that? It's like, what is it? We're not gaining anything but like energy from the ether. I guess it's like our spirit goes somewhere else and just like,
well, your whole body has time
It's-
to relax and rest.
yeah, the
Yeah.
body does, but our spirit is like, I really think it goes somewhere else. When the dream world, and I think it's like part of the ether.
I don't know.
where-
I think our spirit can take on an awful lot without needing rest.
Yeah,
I think
The
that
body-
itself can go through a lot without
the body's
needing
fragile.
a whole lot of rest. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
the body's wearing out.
Yeah, the body's fragile, but it's like you see people go through like so much physically, and it's just like how much spiritual energy they have to just keep it running. But eventually,
You know, and I want to bring something up, and this is going to be controversial, I know, but everybody earlier, it just dawned on me, everybody earlier was arguing to take to the streets. We need to fight back. And I mentioned
man,
the one way that we know for sure, you know, because they brought up, what about your kids and everything? The one thing that I said before for sure is to make sure that your kids know about Christ, and that is going to be the way to save them. But listen, everybody wants to take to the streets and fight, but they're not willing to fight spiritually and do what I said. It has to be, you know, this way and protect this body. You know what I'm saying? And this body, what I was trying to say, is not as important as the spiritual part of you and your children.
dude, I wouldn't know how to even bring this up to my kid.
Your body's going to die either way.
Anyway.
Sooner or later, it's going to die. Do you want your spirit to die too? You know, so I guess that's the way. But
This is way too deep for a kid. I can't.
well, I mean, look, not really, because look at how. I mean,
I want him.
sure, you're not going to go up to him and say, you know, this about Jesus and this about Jesus. No, you have to come to them through a kindergarten book or something, you know.
It took me 30-something years to learn that the devil is the god of this world. Am I just going to come to my kid and say, hey, the devil is the god of this world? And he's going to be like,
Yeah,
what?
no, right.
Well,
No,
I guess you
obviously.
either start worshiping him or you getting.
How would you train your kids to do anything, to start them off driving or anything? You start them off slowly, right? You don't just put them behind the wheel and say, go for it.
Yeah.
Let's see how you do, kid. If you mess up, I'm going to be here to yell at you.
No. I don't know. How do you start it off slowly? I mean, I think it's nobody ever taught me. I was actually taught the lion shall lay with the lamb. And then here it is 35 years later. Oh, it's never been that way.
Yeah.
What? All these different things I was taught?
We're coming up on 3 hours. I'm going to call it at 3 hours. So in about 10 minutes, guys. And then, you know, I'm going to be doing one on my birthday, which is in 3 days. Or today's what? What is today? The 12th now, right?
3/11.
So in 2 days. So Monday and Tuesday, I might even do a live stream in between there, you know, in between there sometime. But
I gotta set the alarm.
Yeah, definitely got to have you back for sure, Valentine.
That is my biggest
Thank you,
Mandela
guys.
effect. I mentioned it twice. Obviously, the lion shall lay down with the lamb is the biggest. I mean, closest memory to my heart. Valentine, do you know what Mandela effect, Bible wise or not, hits you the closest?
The Lion and the Wolf. That's number one for me also, and then the bank. I saw the bank, the word, the not the money changers, but the banks. And
Yeah.
I began to laugh. I'm like, you mean Chase Bank, Wells Fargo? Like I was like, it's just
There's
like no
no
fucking
banks.
way.
Yeah.
And the
That's as far.
couches and the bottles
Couch, yes.
instead of
Pick up that couch and go.
yeah, instead of wineskins, they're pouring stuff into bottles and the debtors and debts, that's new to me. It was always trespasses.
Yeah.
Forgive us who trespass. Forgive those who trespass against us. Something like that. I don't even know the whole verse, but
Yeah.
I know it was trespasses.
Yep.
So debtors is a big one for me.
Satyrs, the mythical creatures, the Satyr.
Oh, Satyr.
Like
Yeah.
half a man, half a goat.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, there's no way that's in the Bible. That's like a mythical storybook, and castles. I mean,
Where's that at?
I
Do you know?
can tell you on the BibleGateway.org.
Yeah,
You can search for
find
it.
But
I mean,
yeah,
but the
no.
satyrs,
And-
screeching owls,
Unicorns.
yeah, unicorns.
Hey, you'll have to
No
let
way.
me know.
No
You'll have
way.
to let me know what that girl's name is that you listen to.
EYA,
Val.
EYA censored.
Extol you, Yeshua always.
EYA.
Extol you, Yeshua
EYA.
always. Pat, don't tell me you haven't seen her. Extol
I don't know
you,
if I
Yeshua
haven't.
always.
There.
Extol Yeshua
I mean,
Okay.
always.
Kat, I love her to death. Like
Kat,
she's a wonderful sister. Like I love her to death.
Dude,
like that's-
she has gotten very banned basically. I mean, that YouTube hates her, and
Yes.
with reasonable.
So
But-
that's her name is EYA censored.
that's her
No.
channel.
Is it
Okay.
called? No, it's not censored. There's no. It's still EYA, right? Period.
No,
After E.
no, that channel's been banned.
Okay. Maybe that's why I haven't seen her in a couple of years.
Yeah, the channel's been banned and banned. Like
It says
she ended up
censored. I'm gonna
EYA
look her up.
censored.
All right, cool. I'm gonna look her up.
Cat is awesome. I mean, as far as the people go, like we are a small community, and the Christian community is even smaller because all these New Agers, and I
Subbed and Belder again. I mean, it's been a while, but I mean, there was. I don't know. There was some things that I didn't like about her, and I'm not hating because she's pointing out truth, But I guess sometimes the truth is hard to look at. So
it's within certain frames. Like again, we can talk about how we think, what we think, openly. That's why I was like, wow, this is my people. But
yeah,
over there, it's strictly the Bible, like strictly
yeah,
the Bible.
Mhm.
yeah.
Restricted.
Here we can
say
take
shit.
yeah. We have.
Yeah,
an
we're
open
pretty open-minded here. I mean, even though I still follow Christ, I'm very open-minded about other people's belief. I don't care what other people, they can come in here and say their belief, which is fine with me. If it's not the same as mine, that's fine. I don't get on anybody about their belief, and most people don't on me. But lately, I've been getting a lot of pushback. Like in my comments, people will try to argue about how because I often say I don't follow any religion, and this guy tried to say, well, Jesus Christ is a religion. He is a religion. And I'm just like, I'm not going to sit and argue with you, man. It's my faith. If you don't agree with it, you don't have to come here. But and people just want to argue, and I don't, and I mean, I understand why, because they just, well, that's their thing. But, and I just don't, I don't pay any attention to it, because it doesn't bother me what anybody believes. It
I had
only,
a
yeah, go ahead.
I had a Muslim roommate for about a year, and of course we got into this conversation, and he didn't deny Jesus, right? The only thing he said was Jesus wasn't God, and I mean, it's the whole it's because, well, Jesus was a man, right? And God can't be a man. That was and I always believed that Jesus was sinless, right? But a man can't be without sin, and that's
And Jesus was, though.
well,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
but he himself says he was not good. He says only God was good. Well, at least that's what it says in the Bible. I don't know if that
But
got
yeah,
Mandela affected or not.
he is God, because it's the Trinity.
Yeah, right. That's what I tried to explain.
Go ahead.
It's the Trinity,
Go ahead,
but-
Valentine.
It took me 38 years to finally agree and recognize this. Truth is a person. It's not a fact. It's not a thing. It's not the information. Truth is God. Like it's a person. Jesus is God. The Father is the Spirit who became a man. So whatever he does, it is the truth. Jesus says so because he is God. So he is sinless because this is his world. He created it. It's Jesus is God as well as a man.
Okay. Hey, I like that. I like that a lot. But I got a question. Since I know EYA follows the Bible very close, and you would know since you've watched her a lot. Has any of the red words of what Jesus said changed, or is it anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like what?
I cannot give you into the details, but let's say you start reading something, this is where I become very conflicted. I have no idea what it used to say before, because before I was an atheist, Antichrist. I openly worshipped, Lord Morningstar was my moniker for about 20 years. I'm a huge gamer. So, yes. But Lord Morningstar also means Jesus. He is the bright and shining morning star. But that's, not here nor there. A lot of the stuff, like all of the red, underlined, or italics, specifically words, they're being changed. I cannot tell you what exactly, which words changed what from what, but when you read it and you just sit there for a second, you pray, or just have a conversation like, hey, God, what the hell is this? This does not sound right. You can just sense it. Maybe it's because it's just the spirit, those of us who are given the spirit. I'm just going to cut the crap. You see it, when you read it, you will see it. It doesn't make any sense. Let's say now it says, bring them before me and slay them. And it does not fucking jive at all. I don't care what it says.
No.
Yes.
Jesus would never say that.
Right. You know that, right? Something inside of you just knows that. So some of the shit,
I
you
forgot
read it
about
Well,
right?
to me, I look at it like it says somewhere in the Bible, I remember hearing that you need to get to know your Bible, for what you learn will be written on your heart, because the Bible will no longer be there for you when you need it later. And we are in them times now where the Bible is changing, so we don't really know now what, like if a newcomer was to If I was to go and read through the whole Bible right now, I wouldn't know what is what. But the verses that I have read, and like I've read through Matthew, I've read Job, and when I do come across something that I feel is not right in my heart, I will just skip over that part, because I feel like it is written in my heart already, even though I didn't read the whole Bible before. It's written on the believers' hearts that it's there, and for the newcomers, they won't. That's what people like me and you and Valentine are, and Ceiling Fan Man are all here for, is because people soon, when everything comes to a head, are going to be crying out for the Lord, and we're the ones that are going to have to comfort them and tell them what we know of Scripture to bring them closer to God.
Isn't that wild, Patrick? Isn't that absolutely wild? Like, of all the people could have possibly, like, how am I? Like, you know,
me too.
What, me? Like, are you kidding me? Me?
Right.
I mean,
right.
It's wild.
And look at who he chose when he was here on earth. He chose the tax collectors. He chose the thieves, the murderers. He chose them as the people that he wanted. And when the Pharisees came to him and said, "Why do you eat with tax collectors and thieves?" He said, "It's not for me to heal the people who think they're already healed. It's for me to be with the sick, the people who need me, who need to hear what I have to say, are the people who are busted and broken." And that was me for sure. And that was his disciples. And the Pharisee didn't get this because they thought they were already saved. You know?
It's beautiful, man. I mean, it's like sad, but it's beautiful at the same time. You know, it's like
they thought they knew God, but they killed him while he was here.
I know.
And do you think Jesus loves religion? That's where I'm like, why do you people come with me with this religion shit?
Yeah,
no, you know, Jesus didn't like
religious.
Jesus wanted nothing to do with religion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amen.
So with that, I'd say we close her out. It's after 7.
I had one question. One question for you said you were a gamer?
I'm a huge PC. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Since Dandy, the 8-bit console till now, I'm on the computer always. I'm horrible.
I mean, I still play the old 8-bit, 16-bit. Well, I like you know, I mean, it's so easy to get. You can download all the Sega Genesis and
exactly.
I still play all of those. But
Golden X2.
Yeah, I love that. I actually have on PS2. But what was my point? Was you said something Morning Star? Was that your gamer name or?
It was my gamer name since I was like 9.
Here's the thing I have about that is because Morning Star. I just recently I have a P900 and I zoomed in, which is like Venus, right? It was the first star. I don't know. I zoomed in on it and it's like moon shaped. It's moon shaped, and I was like, what is this tiny moon over here? But anyways, that doesn't matter. In the Bible, it refers to Jesus and it refers to Satan as the morning star. Both of them.
Yes.
So,
Jesus is the root of David, the bright and shining morning star. Just the devil, Satan, was technically a morning star. Jesus is the morning star, the Lord, the root of David. You know the root of the branch of David. So like there's it's in Revelations.
Like a copy, he's like a copy. He wants to copy Jesus.
Yes.
When
So
Jesus
like
is
when you go
being
into
born.
Revelations, I think it's I don't know
Wow.
that I'm horrible with that, but it's in
That's
Revelations. You read about
that's
it.
a revelation. I was gonna say that's a fucking big revelation for me right now.
See, I know that he is
Freaking
from
adorable.
this Valentine's from the same place, wherever we came from, whatever happened to us, because he just said Revelations, and that's where I call Revelations all the time. And anybody that says Revelation, they're like an Orion person to me.
It was
They're like,
revelation
Yes.
for sure.
yeah, it's
Revelations. There's
definitely
more than one.
Revelations.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So with that, do you guys want to say good night or whatever you want to say for your on
No,
the
it
way
feels
out?
good, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
this.
it's
This
almost
is
1
great.
a.m. I have to get up early. Yeah.
What did
great.
you say, Valentine?
It's 1 a.m. I have to get up early. I have to drive to Texas tomorrow. Eh.
All right. Thanks a lot, Valentine, for coming in. I really appreciate it. You're
Thank you for
welcome
having
anytime,
me.
man.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome anytime.
You
Have a
guys
good
are my
night. Drive
people.
safe.
Yeah, it was good to
Yeah,
meet
you're-
you, and it's good to talk to you again, Patrick. Always.
Thank you, B. Thank you, Patrick. God bless you guys.
God
Good night,
bless.
guys.
Peace.
And thanks, Cammy and the rest of the chat, Angels and Demons, and Chris, and I don't even know who else is still out there. I don't see anybody else talking. So with that, thank you guys. God bless you guys. Thank you to Esther for a birthday donation yesterday. And thanks to my brother Jim for a birthday donation tonight. I appreciate it, you guys. I really do. Thanks for your help. With that, be safe, and you guys stay vigilant, because we're in the birthing pains right now. Things are going to start getting a whole lot rougher. Just hang on. Things will be okay.